I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, what's good, party people in the place to be? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. Good morning. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there, man? I'm good. I'm good. Living for the weekend. I'm living for the weekend right now. Living for the weekend. What's good, my peoples? What's good? Was good. Got a few things I want to talk to y'all about, man. Every day. I have like a gazillion topics like in my bag. And then once the morning starts, like once I crank up the thing, sometimes I don't get to them. So, hey, man, I apologize for not, because yesterday I had some topics, man. I ain't mess around and I ain't even get a chance to get to everything. Right? I'm like the one, I'm not short on content, man. I'm not going to, dribble, drabble, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them things, got a lot to talk about in Knicks Nation. And let me first start off with Tom Thibodeau is good at press conferences. Because he said some stuff and at the same time didn't say nothing all week. He spoke and didn't say nothing, and the media was like eating out of the palm of his hand. And maybe they were hungry just like us. They needed something to go share with their people. Just like us. But I guess things are what they are. We all need something, blase, blase, blah, The one thing I take away from the hard-hitting questions he was faced, because they did ask him. They asked him one question that y'all have been asking, and that question is this. Yo, with the subtraction of Bullock and Elfrid Payton, do you anticipate the defense taking a step back? And do you anticipate RJ Barrett stepping up in that role? And listen, the answer to that was classic. Well, RJ has gotten bigger and stronger. As soon as once he said that and started with the rest, you didn't even have to hear the rest of the response, because as a Knicks fan, that is what you wanted to hear in the first place. Well, you know our prize draft pick, and then you heard like the music play. You heard like the thank you, Bates. You heard the music and stuff. Ah, and the heavens opened, and the sun came shining in, and you know what I'm saying, all these different things. Ah, you know what I'm saying? Tom Thibodeau was like, yeah, RJ Barrett is big and strong at blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and that's exactly what we wanted to hear as a Knicks fan. You know, exactly what we wanted to hear. And there are some other things, too. Like Mitch won't play until he's ready. But Mitch has become a man. When I heard him say that, I was like, this dude is the king of the press conference, the king of toying with your emotion. You know what I mean? When I heard him say that, I was like, look at Thibs. Thibs had him eating out of the palm of his hand. I like this dude. This dude is the GOAT of the press conference. The GOAT of the press conference. You know what I mean? I mean, the cat is legit like saying all of the right things right now. And not just for starving Knicks fans, but if you RJ Barrett, you telling me that's not the ultimate pat on the back right there? That is the ultimate pat on the back. You know what I mean? The ultimate pat on the back. Right? Yeah, y'all draft pick has gotten, the draft pick from a few years ago was not a bust. He's big and strong and is up to the challenge. It's exactly the stuff your eardrums needed. It's exactly what your brain needed. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what your heart needed. Right? Thibs coming in the joint, rocking the mic, all comfy. Comfy with the New York media, too. Thibs is the type of guy that's like doing a press conference to Sharks, and the Sharks are glad that they're able to come in and feel welcome. Sharks like company too. So I went back and rewatched also I went back and rewatched the Obi thing because I was trying to figure out what I was missing and what others saw. And indeed, I get it now. Obi does have that look in his eye, right? But I don't see Eye of the Tiger, right? I don't see Eye of the Tiger like most people. Most people are like, yo, Obi. And as soon as I saw Obi, all I thought was dun, 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 dun. I didn't see that. I saw when I saw Obi, I looked at Obi like that private that joined the military. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time you see that private, he got like a stripe on his collar. And you're like, oh, okay. This private made it through the first year. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Obi. Yeah, Obi. Stir up these stale Knicks fans, Obi. Stir them up. Because they used to, Obi, I'm talking to you, Obi. Stir up these stale Knicks fans. Excuse me. Stir up these stale Knicks fans, bro. Because they used to a certain thing. Rookie come in, struggle, take such and such amount of years to get good. You know, outside of RJ Barrett, of course, is what I'm saying. But the thing I did notice, I watched the Knicks backstage thing, whatever it is, the Knicks behind the scenes, whatever it is. And there are things that you notice. There are cliques in the Knicks. There is a such thing as cliques for Knicks. Or Knicks. Oh, yeah, cliques for Knicks. Yeah. Because you always see the same crew together. Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, you see them together, joking all the time. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. For some reason, I always had this thing that Knox is an outsider. Right? I always had this thing like Kevin Knox must be an outsider. Like they must pick on him or something, or he just doesn't fit in with them. He's like not the black sheep of the family, but he's more like something that I can't quite grasp yet. Right? Right? So you see Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson joking with each other backstage as they do things. That's one group that you've seen together for years. The inseparable group, though, is Obi and Quickly. I think there is a brotherly bond there with those two. A brotherly bond, like this is beyond basketball with those two. This is beyond basketball, man. You know what I mean? This is beyond basketball. Basketball is involved a lot. Because Thibs was like, they asked Thibs a layup question. Thibs, Coach Thibodeau, do you believe if you had Mitch Robinson last year in the playoff, there would have been a different result? Well, you can't really speculate, blah, 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 blah. But he deflected that and was like, yeah, as soon as the season was over, Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly were right back in the gym. And it was unprompted. So you were like, wait a minute. They asked him to speculate about the end of last season and about a heartbreaking pain. Right? And Thibs was like, yo. But as soon as the season was over, Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin were right back in the gym. And you're like, what? And he's like, they were not only in the gym, but they stayed in the gym. And people would come and go. The most frequent person being RJ Barrett. And then Julius Randle would come in and the other players would drop in and out. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. So you think to yourself like, man, Tom Thibodeau loves that set of rookies, Obi and Emmanuel Quickly. Because he referenced them at every opportunity from what I saw, from what Uncle Freezy saw. He references them every chance he gets. Every chance he gets. Right? Every opportunity to reference Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly, he does so. Right? What he doesn't do right now, he doesn't, and this is not new, by the way. This is not new, by the way, for Tom Thibodeau. I noticed this since last season. that every chance he gets, he references in this type of setting is what I'm saying. Every opportunity he gets, he references Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. Last season, he was referencing Obi and Emmanuel Quickly, and we was like, yo, this kid Quickly and going in, going in on Quickly and all that stuff. And we were like, who? You mean the second round, the second round pick? That's kind of how we treated Quickly before he was playing. Who? This guy Quickly. We were too excited about Obi. We were like, Obi. Last year. Oh, Obi's gonna be Stoudemire. Because we didn't have a blueprint for Obi, right? We didn't have a blueprint for Obi. So we started to figure out what Obi was. But Thibs was also like all quick and Obi, Obi and quick and Obi and quick and Obi and quick. He said something last year about quick, and I knew that there was real love there for Thibs, right? Real love for Thibs and Emmanuel Quickly. Thibs last year said, I guess it was this year. No, it was last year. He said, Emmanuel Quickly is one of the best shooters I've seen. Right? And when you say that, and so you look at Thibs like, wait a minute, Thibs. Weren't you on Houston's bench when they had Tracy McGrady? Y'all remember that old school Houston Rockets team? Tracy McGrady, T-Mac, Aaron Brooks. Wait a minute, Aaron Brooks was there. Thibs was there with a rookie Aaron Brooks. That just dawned on me. And guess who Aaron Brooks works for now? The irony. Right? The irony. So anyway, Thibs was on the bench for Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Luis Scola, Chuck Hayes, Skip DeMalou, Aaron Brooks, all them guys, right? Thibs was there for that, okay? Thibs was also an assistant with Doc Rivers in Boston. And Boston had one of the greatest shooters that this game has ever seen in Ray Allen. And Thibs compared his rookie to those guys. All these great teams, right? Thibs has been around the league. Thibs has been around the world, and I. So I got the fresh, crispy green screen in the back. I got one. Finally, it has happened to me. Right in front of my face, and I can't deny it. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face, and I just can't deny it. Yes, Uncle Freezy broke down and got a green screen, right? Right. So Thibs, the king of the press conference, the king of the press conference, right? So Thibs goes in on Obi, which is good. Thibs talks about the defense, which is good. That man. Listen, what I learned last night or this week from Tom Thibodeau is, for one, and this is not a negative. This is not a negative, right? This is definitely a positive. It's not a negative. For one, Thibs loves Obi and Emmanuel Quickly. Does he love the new group of rookies like he loved them? I can't tell right now. Every time somebody references them, he like, yeah, they work hard. They some hard working rookies. Glad to have them. But it's not like when Thibs talked about Quickly and Obi last year when he had these. Thibs was like, you know what I'm saying? Hearts in his eyes for Quickly. Quickly, and I'm gonna transition to Emmanuel Quickly a little bit. For those that don't like Quickly's game, what I will tell you is that Emmanuel Quickly is a culture setter. You want a young guy that's going to be a building block of your franchise. Right? Now, every guy that walks in your building is not going to be the franchise player. In my opinion, you can only have one franchise player. You got to have a pecking order. You know what I'm saying? A first one to the dish, so to speak. You got to have one of those guys, and Julius Randle is it. Let's not act crazy and think it's not. You got to have a guy that's going to set the tone for your franchise. And he may not be the 46-inch vertical guy. He might not be the Adonis at the position. Because I think sometimes we get enamored with the Adonis at the position. Oh my God, he looks like Tarzan at shooting guard. And a lot of these dudes that look like Tarzan play like Jane. They look like Tarzan, yet they play like Jane. Right? They look like Tarzan, yet they play like Jane. They don't have to be the magician. And stay with me here because I'm going somewhere with this, and I want y'all to follow me on this, right? I want y'all to follow me on this, right? So every team that starts their championship aspirations has a culture setter, right? They have a culture setter, a guy that is going to work harder than everybody, right? A guy that's going to work harder than everyone. Right? He's going to be available, and he's going to do all the little things that help an organization be successful. All of them. And he is going to be a grinder, right? That person is going to be a grinder and be available, not just on the court, but for other teammates. Okay. He is going to be available. And I think one of those people is Emmanuel Quickly. Why would I say that? Why you say that, Uncle Freezy? Well, here's why. Winning organizations need that principal person that's going to be there and contribute to success. Not just contribute to success, but enforce certain things. Every organization wants, and this is every successful organization too, by the way, not just the Knicks, not just NBA teams, not teams in sports, but successful organizations in general. And I've been blessed to be a part of a few of them. And to my disfortune or misfortune, I've been a part of some that have not been successful. And you can tell that they were not going to be successful. And I'm not talking about mom and pops all the time, because I worked for some mom and pops that were like that. And I worked for some big companies that were like that also. Some big international banks. You know, I worked for some big international banks, man, that you had a feeling within the company that this ain't gonna last. You know, I work for some companies that my feeling is, my feeling was while I worked for them, don't buy anything big. You know, don't go buy a new house. Shoot, don't even go buy a new car. Save your money, because this feeling of success is temporary. I've also worked for places, that I felt like, hey, Miss Mocha, man, I think if this feeling right here lasts another 6 months, let's go buy something big. Let's go buy a house. And her, oh, for real? Yeah, baby, this feeling right here, this feeling right here, I think we are fortunate to be in the midst of something successful and something lasting, right? But again, this is not about me now. This is about Quickly. I just use that as an example, right? So a player like Emmanuel Quickly, a hard worker or worker bee, you got to have worker bees, because every hive is not going to have a bunch of queens in it. It's just how organizations are. If you want to look at success, look at a beehive, right? You want to look at a successful organization, look at a beehive, right? Right? And when people think about beehives, they think about the stupid fat bumblebee that comes out, the fat bee, all clumsy, big and fat with little wings, eating up all the resources outside the one that always stings somebody. That's not what you want, right? That's not what you want in your organization. Trust. When you have a hive, you don't want the big fat bumblebee that is been booted from the hive because he was eating up all the resources, taking too many shots, being stupid in the media, a selfish player. You don't want them. You want a hive with one queen, one star, and everybody else is the worker bee. And trust me, the queen bee is working too. The queen bee is working as well, right? And that's what we have with the Knicks. When you hear names like Miles McBride, you already know this kid is not coming in to be the star of the show. But this dude is coming in to have a role. And his role is to come in, first of all, be a professional, but also to be a lockdown defender and to learn the point guard position from two Hall of Fame caliber point guards. Right? So here's another thing about the Beehive and about a successful organization. All the bees, all the worker bees say the same thing. I've been working really hard. I bought into the team concept. I worked on my skills. I want to be a better worker bee. I've been working on my body. I'm bigger and stronger than I was the last time you saw me. Right? And we all think we know. We all think we know who the queen bee is in this equation, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, right? All the worker bees are like, yeah, I'm bigger and stronger. I worked on some deficiencies that I had last year. I want this hive to be successful. You hear guys like Obi say, yeah, me and Quickly have been in the gym the entire time. The one person that was with us probably the most is RJ Barrett. He would come in and blah, 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 blah. But the reference point is always everybody getting better for the sake of the hive. Everybody getting better for the sake of the hive. Right? Everybody getting better for the sake of the hive. Right? We saw Obi. Obi looked at when he first got on the court, Obi looked as if he might be a bumblebee. We didn't, and see, our hive doesn't need a bumblebee. As a matter of fact, if you were a bumblebee, Thibs got rid of you. If you were like the thing, you were born a worker bee, and then instead of working, you were like eating up all the resources, making a whole bunch of noise, drawing people to the hive. Like you see a bear and you all stupid instead of going about your job, you like, and in this equation, the bear is Brooklyn or somebody. The bee stirring up the thing, and now he got the hive at risk from the bear because the stupid bee can't shut his mouth. Oh, bear, don't come by our hive. And then the bear was like, oh, there's a hive over there? Stupid bumblebees. The bumblebees are ruining the hive. That's why they always get booted out. When you if you watch a nature video on bees, watch how the mosh pit of worker bees boot out the bumblebee. Get out of here. You eat up all the resources, man. This thing is about the hive. It ain't about you. And see, we have that, a bunch of worker bees. We have a bunch of them. And they have names like Emmanuel Quickly. Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Julius Randle, Kemba Walker, Derrick Rose. And yes, Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose are worker bees. When you hear Kemba Walker speak, Kemba Walker speaks to the hive. Yeah, I enjoy it here. I feel like I'm a leader, but I'm a part of the hive. Listen to Kemba Walker talk. Listen to Derrick Rose speak. Listen to them speak. They are saying things that get you stirred up if you are a worker bee by nature. If you, as a Knicks fan, are a worker bee by nature, they say these things that get you stirred up. They stir up your spirit because you, as a worker bee, appreciates what it takes to have a successful organization. And not just, and don't just always equate it to work, right? As a Knicks fan, and you hear me saying these things, don't always equate organization to work, to job, career. This might apply to family unit. Everybody in that family unit working together to make sure that family is successful. Or other organizations or relationships that you have. Should we do it here at Blorange Tears? At Blorange Tears, people think that I am the queen bee, right? I like being the worker bee. Along with the ghetto intellect. The ghetto intellect is a worker bee. Stay sharp. Anytime you call on him, he ready. Anytime you call on the ghetto intellect, he ready. He ready. Free Keith. Invested. All the time. Emotionally invested. My man is invested in Blorange Tears in our success. G-Man for life. The probably the backbone of the organization. Just always ready at any given moment to put in the work. He a worker bee. Cornerstone Kev. Invested. You know what I'm saying? Like ready to go. Like just ready to do this thing. Like so the thing with organizations, and I'm not tooting our horn. What I'm doing is giving an example. Right? Like Subliminal 209. I had a small chat with Subliminal 209 via text and some in person. Invested. And emotionally, he is tuned in, tagged in. Right? And others, the mods, they go to, anyway, it's so many people to shout out. But what I'm saying is this. When you have worker bees in your organization, that their sole focus is the success of the organization will be successful. And I'll let you know. And I'm sorry about getting on this tangent about Quickly, but Quickly is a culture setter. And you need those guys. Right? Quickly is a culture setter. And I know this, Thibs can't say that outright about Quickly without alienating others. And that's a smart thing. And plus, a worker bee doesn't need a blue ribbon. A worker bee doesn't need a blue ribbon. You know what I'm saying? For the worker bee is going to work because he's a worker bee. Bees do work, right? Worker bee is what he is. But a worker bee doesn't need a badge, a blue ribbon. You know what I'm saying? A worker bee doesn't say, hey, man, you didn't shout me out 50,000 times yesterday. A worker bee gets his love and enjoyment from the process. The process. Grinding. That's what Quickly does. Right? That's what Quickly is, a culture setter. He's not going to be the star. You feel me? He's not going to be the star of the show. Right? He's not going to be the star. He's not going to be the Adonis, the dude that's going to be, well, what position does Quickly play? Point guard and shooting guard, right? So Quickly is a guard. A combination of both. There's nothing wrong with combinations. Sometimes combinations are good. So Quickly is a guard, but at 6'2"-ish, he doesn't present you with that Adonis type body. You would love for a player at that position to be 6'4", 6'5", 210, blazing fast. That's not Quickly. Quickly is 6'2"-ish, about 190-ish. They say 190. Quick looks every bit of like 180 something. I guess in this thing, Quickly will tell you he's 189. Yeah, I'm 189, 190. Yeah, right. Me too. Right. But Quickly he's not gonna be the Adonis. He's not gonna look the part. He doesn't have the RJ Barrett body. Right? And Quickly is not the magician like Kemba Walker. Because Kemba Walker is not Adonis, but he's the magician type. Flashy, skilled, can do a lot of things that make up for the fact that he's not an Adonis. But he is a culture setter. And you would pray that young man has an infinite amount of health and wisdom as he goes forward in his career. Because what he does carry is the positive attitude. Right? The positive attitude. That's what you need in a successful organization. Now, I referenced the Knicks and successful organizations. Right? I did that. I referenced your New York Knicks and successful organizations. You need grinders. You need worker bees. Right? And I'll give you an example of a successful business. I'm not going to say the name of the company because they're not paying me, but I will reference them. We had a CEO that was a jerk, and we knew it. And he knew it. I was around him. And personally, I did not like him as a person. I did not like, but he liked me for some reason, and that's not important. So he comes in, flies into our city, and is hanging out at some company, annual company, something. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Before this stuff started happening to us, companies would have like these once a year company celebration type things. And he comes in with this very crispy dress shirt, tailored to the T, brand new shoes, $1 million smile, and a bunch of butt kissers following him around. Bunch of them, man. It was frustrating because our building held maybe like 4,000 people. Right. Had our own building, name on it out front and all that stuff. Whatever. And he's walking with his plate of cookout food. What's the beans? Pork and beans. Like, he got pork and beans dripping on the ground while he's looking all clumsy, but he was sharp though. And people are just like walking up, oh, you need some napkins? You need some napkins, man? Let me hold your drink. You know, blah. Oh, the butt kissing was on full display. And y'all have seen this before. Y'all seen this before. CEO flying into your town, or not, even if it's not the CEO, the most important person in your organization at the time shows up to your building, and people are like, oh my God, the king is here. And I'm sitting with a few of my friends, right? We had the function. I'm sitting with a few of my friends. And it's like, the outside picnic tables, 6 people or whatever. So we already have 6 people, right? And he sits down. He's like, yo, and I'm not a CEO, so don't judge me the way I'm imitating a CEO. Hey, Uncle Freezy, can I sit down next to you? So first of all, I'm like, how does this dude know my name? The one thing I learned prior to that is how you survive is people not knowing your name. You know what I'm saying? You don't want people to know your name in your organization. You want to be a worker bee. I was taught that. Be a worker bee. It's not important for people to know who you are, but it's important for them to know that you're working, grinding, getting it. So he sits down. I'm like, and this is Uncle Freezy being himself. And the more y'all get around me, the more y'all realized Uncle Freezy can't help but be himself. I'm like, man, we already got 6 people. And you see people scatter like, oh my God, did he just say that to, but would it just follow me on the thing. So one of his backside smoochers grabs a chair and he sits at the table with us. And he's like, what y'all talking about, man? And I'm like, so a couple of things. I'm talking about how I have a hitch in my backswing in fantasy football. And he said, you have a hitch in your backswing? Me too. And I'm like, man, get out of here. You probably got, and this is Uncle Freezy being Uncle Freezy. Man, get out of here. You probably got a swing coach on each coast. You probably got brand new clubs. And you probably been in the gym. And he's like, nah, man. And he's like, hey, Uncle Freezy, don't judge a book by its cover, bro. Don't judge a book by its cover. I paused right there because I wanted y'all to get the impact of what my man said. Don't judge a book by its cover. I paused there intentionally. Okay, so I'm talking. He's like, hey, Uncle Freezy, where you from? And I'm like, yeah, I'm from, such and such, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, you from New Jersey? Yes. So am I. Really? So anyway, fast forward through the story, because the thing about that is not important. Well, basically what I'm getting at is you need grinders in your organization. He went on to tell me and those people at the table about how he started as the worker bee and was elevated to the CEO. He didn't fly in and become the CEO. He wasn't a CEO somewhere else and was hired by headhunters to become the CEO of this company. He started as a grinder. This big West Coast company, this huge West Coast company that y'all see the commercials on TV, this dude started out as a grinder, right? I think he went to some college, maybe like a King College or something, right? Dude from New Jersey. Started out like a grinder, like started out with us, like walked in the first day of the job. He was the runner. I started out the same way. Started out soon that they was like, yo, report to the mailroom. I went to the mailroom. I'm like, hey, bro, I've been to college. They're like, nah, hey, college boy, not today. You're going to get this cart and you're going to push mail around the entire building. We got codes. Right? And the dude tells me a story about how he himself started out as a runner with the little shopping cart style thing for mail, dropping mail off on people's desk. And he had college. And that he had a hit in his backswing. And he liked fantasy football. Years later, I was like, hey man, why you stop over there and interrupt our conversation? After I got like a comfort level now. Now listen, this ain't like 1 or 2 years of blah blah blah. But years later, I'm like, hey man, so why you interrupt us at the picnic? He was like, because y'all were having the most genuine conversation of anybody there. Everybody else was trying to impress me with stuff. And he went on to tell me about how successful organizations are like a beehive. And how in order for an organization to be successful, you need worker bees. And so that story that I told y'all about the beehive is one that he told me about successful organization. And I want to share that with y'all because of Emmanuel Quickly and how he's a worker bee and how his elevation to success. And this is just me speculating, but Emmanuel Quickly's elevation to success may not be the same as a Zion Williamson or a LeBron James or a Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis or Anthony Edwards. Those guys had talent that those guys, they are Adonises. When you look at their bodies, they're blessed with something, genes. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are Adonises. When you see them, you don't know if they're NBA players or bodybuilders, weightlifters, or whatever. LeBron James, 6'9", 250, number 1 pick in the draft. Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns. And then there are others that are picked in that spot. Number 1, Kyrie Irving. He's a magician. He's not the Adonis, but he's a magician. He does whatever. Right? I want to share that CEO story with y'all because If I just come out and said that quickly is the future, y'all would have never have got what I said. But when you phrase it in a way that you can see it, like quickly is a grinder, a worker bee. Obi is a grinder, is a worker bee. I didn't think coming in, I didn't think all the flashy dunks, the foot speed. Obi looked like an Adonis, right? But guess what? Obi is a grinder. Obi is a grinder. He trusts the process and trusts in the process of getting better. Right? And then you add other worker bees, your Miles McBrides, your Quentin Grimes, your Jericho Sims, your Rokas Jokabitises. You know what I mean? And so every guy that enters your organization is not going to be LeBron James. It just don't happen, folks. It just don't happen like that. So this week we saw the excitement of young guys coming back to camp to show off the skills that they acquired over the offseason. And if that doesn't get you fired up as a Knicks fan, I don't know if there's anything that can get you fired up. Because today we could have been here talking about hotshot rookies. We could have been talking about Adonises and magicians, but we are not. We are talking about worker bees. And every successful organization has worker bees. Sorry about that, y'all. That cold is still getting on me. But every successful organization has worker bees. Right? Listen. I'm gonna put this link in the chat. I didn't realize that I had talked to y'all for about an hour. But this is important to me. Like so I hear a lot of things. Like every opinion on the channel is not mine. It's the person that shares their opinion. Right? So sometimes I don't get the opportunity to share my opinion because the timing and the platform is not right. And when you're a worker bee, you understand that the worst thing you want to be is a bumblebee, eating up all the resources, taking up all the resources. Big fat bee with little wings. Big fat bee, oversized worker bee that ain't working. Don't ever want to be that. Want to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And that's what, now that I look back on it, that's what I think. That's why I think the selection of Quentin Grimes was so important to this organization. That's why I think the addition of Miles McBride was so important to this organization. Right? Because those guys have a feeling of the organization is bigger than themselves. You have to have a worker bee mentality to get what I'm saying. You have to have a worker bee mentality to get what I'm saying. You can either be the star of somebody's show and hope that you're lucky enough to win if winning is important to you. That's if winning is important to you. You can hope that things go your way and you become a Hall of Famer, 19-time All-Star, 6-time NBA champ, or you can buy into an organization. You can buy into an organization, grind away, trust that the work that you put in, and trust your brothers in the trenches with you, that the work that they put in are going to be enough to elevate you until to championship status. Let me throw this link in the chat, man. Let me invite some folks. Yeah. So the thing is I was gonna come in and stat y'all to death this morning. Oh, this second-year player does this, blah blah blah. You know, but then when you look at is Thibs the king of the press conference? Is Emmanuel Quickly? Man, this guy's the limit for that type of person, right? Right. Yo, what's good, boss?
What it do?
How you this morning?
I'm feeling Smurfy.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, now y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is now, then. Y'all know what it is.
Bim.
Hey, what's
It's called
good, GM?
talent, folks. Talent.
Yeah, man.
Dress down Friday, baby. Look, it's cold outside today. Oh,
Yeah,
Pimp
man.
is in the building. West Side.
West
Yup.
Side.
What's going down?
What's good, man?
Oh man, it's Friday. We all alive. Open our eyes. We're breathing. We're talking that good Knicks talk. Good chance to fellowship with the brothers. Salute to the chat. Hey, it's a lovely day. Period. If you open your
Praise
eyes, it's
God.
Yeah, man.
All praise God.
Yeah, man. Hey, so I'm excited about the press conferences this week, man. Not because
Yes.
these
Let's
dudes
talk about it.
Yeah, and not because these dudes are the press conference kings, but because they said certain things. Whereas if you're depending on who you are as a Knicks fan, you take certain things certain ways. So when I heard Tom Thibodeau, because the reporter asked him a setup question, it could have went sideways, right? He said, "Man, with the subtraction of Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock, you know, do you think the defense is going to take a step back?" And Tip said, "Well, R.J. Barrett is bigger and stronger." And so it makes you think, like, so he nailed two birds with one stone. For one, he addressed that the draft picks not being a bust thing is real. And two, he addressed that R.J. Barrett is hell-bent on being a two-way player. And three, he thinks that R.J. Barrett can step into Reggie Bullock's role and thrive. Is that what you guys got from that?
That's part of what I got. But like the meat and potatoes that I pulled from is like, oh, that what he's saying is is RJ's playing the 3, and he's gonna be our best wing defender.
Yep.
Let's get it. Cool. I hear him talking. Okay, he's stronger, he bigger. Cool. All right.
Right.
I'm just waiting for preseason, man. That first game going to tell me everything. It don't got to be perfect. We don't got to win, but it's going to tell me everything I need to know about direction.
Right. Well, you mean preseason game number 1 or preseason games in general?
The preseason game number 1 specifically, but preseason games in general.
Okay. What about you, G.I.?
Mute.
Oh, he got it. He comes.
I had to get to the right. I was multitasking. I'm my position for RJ. I was happy to hear what Thibs said because it's in line. RJ is going to be your stopper this year. It just goes to show what I told you. I told everybody RJ is going to be the man that comes out and sticks together. He will be playing KD. He will be playing Middleton. He will be playing these guys. I just want to see how it works out. You guys told me to relax, believe in the young stud.
People been clowning me when I said that, asking me who I think is going to be the best wing defender on the team now that Reggie Bullock is going. I say RJ.
I will say this: you got to be, but him going out and getting 20 points, unless it's 3 and D, I just don't see him being.
I'm not forcing him to get. I'm not forcing him to get 20 points.
Thank you.
I'm not forcing. See, and I've also not been that guy.
That's why we're Knicks freestyle. We're different than anybody else.
My man is playing with 3 other cats on the line, on the starting line with him that can drop 25 at any given night. I'm not expecting him to. I'm not pushing him to. I feel like RJ is going to fall within 18 to 20 points a game average, kind of like that's where he might swim. Fine with that. Even 16 to 20 with uppage in assists and rebounds. Fine with that. He's going to take less shots and better ones. Fine with that. Yo, man. I'm promoting a little bit too much. I gotta wait for that first preseason game. Yeah.
He will be more efficient. Just the one thing he must do, even if he doesn't shoot as well as he shot from the outside last year, because last year was that's a historic level he shot. Freezy will remind everybody all the time.
Yes, I will.
So I just want to see him finish around the rim. He's got to finish 45% around the rim. He's got to go from 32 to 45 overnight, and then he's going to be a real threat.
Okay. All right. I don't know if I agree with y'all on that. Let me say this because I'm not just saying this to stir y'all up. I'm saying it because I had a different stance before I heard y'all comment. So my deal is we have had such a dearth at the point guard position that we don't even know what offense even looks like. Because for the past gazillion years, your best player has been a 3/4. Think about who your best player was going all the way back to before Carmelo Anthony. Ever since Carmelo Anthony, your best player has been 3/4-ish. And there were some years where it wasn't that player, it wasn't that position, but at the same time, you didn't know who your best player was. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle comes in, he's a 4, right? He's a 4. Carmelo comes in, he's a 3. You know what I'm saying? But during all those years, when you name the point guards, bro, the point guard, listen, man, naming point guards is like watching the big board at Grand Central Station. It's so many different names up there. You like, what is this? It's like watching flights to the airport, bro. It's so many names and stuff that go up there. You like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but basically you need a scorecard for a scorecard.
Right, exactly. And so what I'm saying is this. RJ Barrett doesn't need to go one-on-one and generate offense now. Man, with Kemba Walker on the floor, with what RJ Barrett does naturally, just what he does naturally, and Kemba Walker generating him 3 or 4 open looks a night, that's already 20. And in my view, and same thing with Julius Randle. The fact that you get a point guard that can generate offense and open looks for others, not just by running the play, the play that's drawn up exquisitely and execution is exquisite, not just that, but even in play breakdowns where you develop chemistry with people. You know what I'm saying? I know Julius likes to start on that right baseline so he can go left, so he can get to that left hand, right? So I'm gonna start on the opposite side and draw the defenders so Julius Randle can have momentum going that way, and I can you know what I'm saying, hit Julius off with that nice pocket pass coming from baseline. You got the freight train with a head full of steam going to the basket, and you know you can't stop. I ain't seen a cat stop Julius Randle at the rim dunking yet. Julius Randle dunking on people is very underrated. I'm not saying Julius Randle is Zion. What I'm saying is Julius Randle will finish at the basket.
Yo, you can't act like he's soft. Like,
right.
Dude, like Randle is tough cat. He's strong.
Right. And so just Kemba Walker giving Julius Randle 3 or 4 more open looks a game, not more shots. I'm not saying more shots. I'm saying when you looked at Randle last year and Reggie Bullock would throw him a wild pass with 2 seconds left on the shot clock for Julius Randle to throw up a prayer at the buzzer. And the reason why he did it is because Julius Randle hit like 30, 35, 36% of those shots, right? And so this year with Kemba, we won't have to see bailout shots with the shot clock running down. You know what I'm saying? Now a defense has to pick their poison. You know what I'm saying? 6 million ways to die, choose one to a defense, right? So the thing to RJ, I think RJ will be the beneficiary. I think his scoring will increase just because he gets easier 1, 2, 3 easier looks a game. You know, because the position that we've been missing, a magician at point guard, is there now. You know what I'm saying? And you take into account his natural growth offensively, hitting his free throws. Something like that. Just hitting his free throws. And his shooting percentage being more efficient. It happens to all young players. Now, am I saying RJ is going to score 25 a game? No, that's not what I'm saying. But if RJ was to score 19, 20 points a game, I wouldn't be blown away by that. AD, what's good?
Hey, good morning, brothers. What's going on? What's going on with y'all?
Bro, you going to come in here and talk about Bernard King?
Let me say, no, because I don't want you to sully the name of the great. I'm allow you to stay with Dirk and exquisite. You may throw in indubitably at some point in time. I'm allow you to stay with that. But let me say peace to the chat, peace to the brothers. Let me say this about RJ Barrett, because I think we're forgetting a little something here. That if RJ Barrett averaged the same amount of points that he did last year and was just more efficient and got better at the free throw line, he's improved.
Exactly.
He's improved. That's great improvement. Now, as far as him being a defensive stopper, I don't see that, because I don't think there is a defensive stopper in the NBA. That was proven in last year's playoffs. I'm not going to go there with you, Freezy, with Trae Young, how he destroyed your man. I'm not going to go there with you with Gobert. I'd have to take Gobert out of the game, in the most pivotal moments, and he was the defensive player of the year. It's about collective team defense. If he is part of the body of the snake that does what he needs to do, then there's nothing but success on the horizon. But for Knicks fans, if y'all thinking that, y'all gonna throw him out there on the island and in the key pivotal moments, he's gonna make stop 1, stop 2, stop 3. I'm here to tell y'all right now, don't watch the games, because y'all gonna be sorely disappointed. This is the NBA. This is an offensive league. That's not gonna happen. Even with the new rules adjustments and them trying to stop
which
offensive
I
players from,
love.
you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is for me on this end.
Right.
So nobody's a defensive stopper. Okay, we could establish that. That's fine. That goes across the board. But like, if he plays with anywhere near the defensive ability and tenacity that Bullock did, then we are super Gucci.
Well, I agree with you, bro. And the reason why I agree with you, Freaky, stay with me on this. Stay with me on this, bro. I want to take you back to 2019.
Freezy, take me back.
Right? And so buckle up your seatbelts, everybody. So there's a game I often reference, right? Where David Fizdale cusses out Kevin Knox like a dog. If I was near David Fizdale, I'd have punched him in his face for how he was treating Kevin Knox on a nationally televised game against the Boston Celtics, right? Where a Kevin Knox is struggling offensively and Jason Tatum is struggling on the other side offensively, right? Brad Stevens pulls Jason Tatum to the side and says, "Hey man, you are our star. Regardless of the outcome of this game, you have 100% backing of this organization," right? On the other side, David Fizdale is cussing out Knox. "If you want more, I'll take you out this guy. I'll DMP you to death." He's like, "Yo, David Fizdale, you an idiot." Okay, but anyway, the Boston coach, Brad Stevens, coddles Jason Tatum right during the game. And people are like, "Oh, man, he coddling that young dude, man." And mind you, this young dude at the time was a 15-point per game scorer on bad efficiency or decent efficiency, right? 15 points per game, that's it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't 27 a game. And so what happens is he coddles this young dude, and this young dude says, "Hey, man, give me the ball to win the game," right? And Boston draws up this play, and it's beautiful. You could see all the basketball principles in there. You see the screening, the screeners having one hand going to the basket. The passers have clear passing lanes, and the shooter gets ISO'd on a weak defender. And so if you remember in that game, that defender that Boston felt like was a weak defender was a dude named R.J. Barrett, who waved off somebody else so that he could be the defensive stopper in crunch time. Now, what happened was Jason Tatum hit that shot over R.J. Barrett. But R.J. Barrett did not back down, didn't cry, wasn't even upset. You could look at R.J. Barrett. He looked at Jason Tatum. He's like, "You got me." But the look on his face was like, "But you'll never get me again." Right? Fast forward a couple of weeks, and the Brooklyn Nets have a Kyrie Irving with the ball in his hands to hit the game winner. And the defender they pick on is a dude named R.J. Barrett. Right? R.J. Barrett's like, no, we're not switching. I got him. And Kyrie Irving hits a miracle shot over R.J. Barrett. And people are like, "Well, why is R.J. Barrett guarding him on the last play of the game? Where's Frank?" Nah, R.J. Barrett wanted that assignment. Right? Was he successful? No. Was he barely 19? Yes. He wanted to be that defensive guy. Now, I could stat y'all to death about last year about how R.J. Barrett defending wing players was 5th in the NBA in defensive win shares. I can stat y'all to death with that. But I don't have to in this case. Because the thing I know about this chat, the virtual one and the video one, is that they know R.J. Barrett is a dog. That's the one thing That's the one thing, the consistent theme that we hear, that RJ Barrett don't back down from nobody.
So let me ask you something. So let me ask you something, Brother Freezy. You think if Fizdale had did what you say he did to Knox, RJ would have curled up in a corner and sucked his thumb and not be heard from again for 3 years? You have to stop this coddling when it comes to certain players.
No, you missed the whole point.
You now.
You missed the whole point. The point went over your head like a cloud.
I got your point. I got your point.
You way off just now.
I got your point, but I wanted to address
the point was the other coach coddled Jason Tatum.
Crazy. Let me ask you something. You were an ex-boxer, right? You remember Foreman fighting Moore, all right? You remember how Moore got his championship against Evander Holyfield?
Yeah, he beat up an old man. Yeah.
Teddy Atlas undressed that man on national TV as much as he could. Said everything he could to get Moore to win the championship. I just want to address that point right there with you in this Knox thing, and you constantly coddling and hoping and praying that the magic pill is going to somehow fall into this man's throat, down into his esophagus, and he's going to be something that we have not seen. The RJ Barrett point, everybody can see that RJ can do these things, my brother. But I can't understand with you and other Knicks fans who want something out of Kevin Knox that's just not there.
So wait a minute. So the point about me saying that RJ defended Jason Tatum and Jason Tatum hit the game winner is about Kevin Knox?
It wasn't about Knox, but
that's what I'm saying.
You took a slight at Fizdale because he showed up Knox on TV and the other coach didn't show up Tatum. There's two different ball players. One needed coddling, one needed a slap. These are two different guys. And just like with rearing your children, you don't raise all your children the same.
Right.
We constantly keep going back to revisit this thingamajiggy here with Knox. I don't understand why it's not going to be here for him in this uniform with this organization. Maybe someplace else, but it doesn't mean the people who were here, who were trying to teach him and trying to, get something out of him, doesn't mean that they were wrong. From the date I saw Tatum step on an NBA court, before that, even in college, that man was a player. Anybody could see that. Right. You can't say the same for Knox. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking the other point, but whenever I hear the Knox thing, I want to rip my hair out because it's enough of it.
Don't rip your hair out. Don't rip your hair out.
I feel you, AD. Like I lean that direction. I lean in the direction that Knox is like I'm not in his camp. Like, oh, I'm a big Knox stan. Like I lean in the direction that he's not it. But like something in me, like everybody who's here for this off season, I just need to see them perform before I cast anybody out of the island. Because like I have a very good feeling about this particular off season, this particular training camp. I feel like there's about to be a beautiful team coming out of this. And I don't want to cast anybody off the island yet until I at least lay eyes on the product to see if I was right.
Right.
Somebody got to wave the towel. Somebody got to wave the towel. Somebody got to get the Gatorade.
No doubt. No doubt. This is not saying that Knox is like the dude, but like we all have attested. We all have said, like Knox's issue is not ability. It's not a skill issue. It's a will issue. Like, and if there's something that may have gotten through to him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just need to see first. And we can ship him the hell out of here if it's, you know what I'm saying, if Knox is just looking like Knox.
Can we just listen, man? Can we address something here just real quick? So the thing is, I mentioned Jason Tatum and Brad Stevens, right? Jason Tatum and Brad Stevens in comparison to Kevin Knox and David Fizdale. And what we get from this is Knox don't have heart.
I didn't say he don't have heart.
That's what I mean.
I think but we all have agreed that his problem is in his mind. Have we not?
Well,
no. Look, you hemming and hawing. That's what we've agreed it was. Nobody's saying that. We've seen flashes of him doing things that we like and know that he can do. His form, his shooting form is damn near perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we know what he can do. Like he runs, like when he chooses to get up, he can get up.
Right.
He's very kind of like gazelle-like in his movements. Like if he could just focus and like be able to be locked in for and like the game of basketball for like 48 minutes, like yo, I personally think, honest to God, if RJ and Knox could change like spirits, Knox would be the best player on the team.
I understand where you're coming from. Right. But the thing is so I understand where you're coming from, but the thing is with Knox, and I didn't want to talk Knox. I actually want to talk about RJ Barrett defensively. But the thing about Knox is this, and my belief is that bad coaching and bad organization ruins everybody involved. That's the reason why I made the Beehive reference. I talked about the Beehive for like 30 minutes. Because if you build your organization poorly, you're not going to get good results. That's what I was getting at.
Hold on, Freeze. Gentlemen, I got to run. Freeze, I'm still listening. I just want to say, Knicks Nation, this Sunday, I'm on. We in there. Whoever want to pull up. I got to run, gentlemen. Knicks family for life. Peace.
All right. Hey, we'll see you, bro. What I was getting at is not that Kevin Knox is a bad thing. I referenced the Beehive, bro. That's what I'm saying. If you build it the right way, if you have worker bees, your organization will be successful. That's what you need. Like everybody's not going to be the CEO. Somebody has to be the administrative assistant. And most places is going to have a very experienced person in that role, because the thing that an organization needs is order, right? And to compare, because when I compared the Boston Celtics, I did that for a reason. I used a multi-time NBA championship organization with a brilliant head coach and a sterling high potential rookie young player, and compared it to us, who hadn't won championships in 50 years, and a head coach that was a doofus, and a young player who has a bunch of talent that could have gone in any direction, right? And we chose to let a doofus ruin Kevin Knox, right? And so the point I was getting at is RJ stepped through that and was like, hey, man, listen, I don't care about none of that stuff. I want to be the best, period. That's what I'm getting at. Soul Finger, what's good?
What's good, fella? I'm just sitting back, listening, taking it all in. Everybody else it didn't leave a lot of meat on the bone regarding with your first statement, because they went in and regarding the worker bees. I would say this, just to just piggyback on what you were saying regarding with the whole, with you using it as the example. And I was feeling it, what you were saying. We had, he had, I'm like Ron right now. I don't even want to, I don't even want to say anything about the person that coached Knox before, because he failed at young. He failed a young man for one, in his style. But regarding everything as a worker bee and where everything's going with the team, they're lining up and everybody's letting it be known that, hey, this is Julius' team by how they're putting it out there. And way Thibs addressed, he addressed that press conference masterfully, and the way he gave those answers, because now he's letting you know that, letting you know that, hey, this is my guy. I believe in RJ, what RJ can do. And RJ's been trying to be, step up and be their defensive stopper. Whether he completes it all the way, he's willing to take the challenge. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going against what I just said, but it's something that I'm still rolling with GI on this. GI know what I'm about to say, before I even say it. I still feel that we do need that big wing. We still do. I really do. I know they may be holding on, hope against hope for Knox, but however, in the mortal words of G-Man, hope is not a strategy. And I do believe that Knox needs to change the scenery. I pulled for him because we drafted him. And I know what I said, the whole debate and everything, but I pulled for the cat because we drafted him. Really, if you own this team, I'm pulling for you. But you kind of got to, if you ain't making it happen, it's like this, either you dump or get off the pot.
Yeah.
So this is where I stand on that. But the beast, that B analogy, the way you put it was spot on. That's what we got, and it's gonna be a good season, really, really good season. If we just sit back and let it cook like we do in a crock pot, good things gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Did y'all see? Did all of y'all see all of the interviews, all of the training day, the training camp interviews so far?
Right. Yeah, I did.
I'm just impressed with. Honestly, we talking about IQ. We talking about these other guys, but y'all really listen to Roses?
Yep.
Rose is one of my favorite ones, man.
That man is so serious and grounded. It's crazy. I just am very impressed with the maturity and the level of what I'm thinking is discipline on this team. And go ahead, Gia.
Yeah, because I want we just touched on something, and I just want Soulfinger to give it. I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to give it a shot. I just want Soulfinger and I just to give as it relates to Knox, to give a shout out to man. Let me see if this comes through. It won't get you flagged, Freezy. Can y'all hear this?
Nah.
You can't hear it?
No.
Nah.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah, it sounds like somebody taking off from.
Yes. Shout out to man.
I can't whistle like he does.
Yeah, man. Hey, but
knocks you out of here on the next.
This is your captain speaking.
Well,
you said knocks out of here on the next thing smoking.
Nah, I don't think so. I think my man is
I don't look at. Oh, I'm sorry, my fault.
So I was gonna say, man, just real quick. My thing is I think Thibs likes Kevin Knox, wants him to be here, and invested in making the kid better. But wanting him to be here, liking him, and improving him are all three different things.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I use the Brad Stevens, Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum reference, right? Because you can like somebody all you want, but it don't mean that person is going to improve in your organization. Because if for NBA fans across the board, Y'all will remember that Jaylen Brown did not look like he was going to be it. He actually looked like he was combustible. Like he could go either way in the beginning because he couldn't shoot.
Like just some guy.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, I'm saying, not Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum looked like he was the prince from day one. But Jaylen Brown did not look like he was going to be that guy. But when you have a successful organization in Boston and an excellent head coach in Brad Stevens, you get the results of the fruit or the labor that you put on the seeds that you put in the ground. And the reason why I use Fizdale is because Fizdale is an idiot.
He was faking the funk, man. He
ruined everybody. Bro, he was running Noah Vonleh at point forward.
Yeah.
And so everybody always run to bash Kevin Knox, but they forget the fact that the coach that was coaching Kevin Knox ran Mario Hezonja at point guard.
Bro, we ain't been bashing Knox from back then. I can't let you do that.
Yo, Hezonja was kind of high at point guard though.
We bashing Knox from last year. He was the rookie.
And this is and understand, like, do we take anything into account in our reasoning? Like by this point, we realize how savvy and serious our front office and coaching staff is, right? I mean, we can agree on that. By this point,
this front office.
No, this one, yeah.
This organization.
This organization, by this point of their tenure, we can all agree that they are savvy, they are focused, and they are knowledgeable people in the organization.
Right.
Right or wrong.
I agree with you.
Now,
I agree with you.
Now, evaluating that or adding that to the fact that Knox is still here, right? Who none of them, like by rights, he's not connected to this administration. Like, he could go. Like, this ain't theirs. Like, they could have. So him being here, to me, still, to me, actually means something because of all of that. I feel like they see something, or they see something there that we do not. They are working with him in ways we can't see.
It doesn't make a lot of sense though, and it's possible, but only.
So this is why I at least want to give until, like, you know what I'm saying, I see him after this postseason to really ring the bell on him. Like, all right, he's cooked.
You mean preseason?
Preseason, hopefully he gets. Yeah, I feel like that's probably the opportunity he'll probably get to play the most.
That's right. If he doesn't produce in preseason, he's not playing. Here's the only thing that doesn't make sense for me. That Knox. First of all, there is a Kentucky contingent that was on his team. We talked about his document.
Well, that's Kentucky, but I still don't see Leon keeping somebody who's a scrub. You know what I'm saying? Who's a bust just because they from Kentucky? I don't see that. I don't see him doing.
And I'm gonna be honest, I don't see him doing that. I'm hoping you're right, because this.
No. When I say that, I'm saying he very well might be a bust.
No.
The fact
that's my point. My point is, Keith, Leon has finally put some meat on the bone for us to be able to question. The first move that we can clearly question. Freezy was going crazy about the draft. We might come back and question that or not, but that's a crapshoot. He clearly re-signed Knox to a $7 million deal when he hasn't really done anything in 4 years. And then part of it could be, like you said, they see something. They didn't think he got a fair shot. But young players, Quickly and Obi, was able to come to this team as drafted players and produce for the Knicks last year. Knox did not.
What did Obi produce?
I agree with you.
Who had a better rookie season, Kevin Knox or Obi Toppin?
You're missing it because now
Yeah,
you're talking out on one hand you're saying Knox didn't have the proper development, but then he had a great rookie season, and then you're saying Obi was better than he was better than Obi last
and
year.
Knox, and I'm gonna back you up on that. I'm gonna go ahead and like push back on that a little bit, Freezy. Knox had a great 3 months of his rookie year. Knox did not have a great rookie year. It did not. When he was a single. I don't know what even to call it, but like he only had one move.
He also didn't play on a team that was fourth in the in the East, in the NBA East, and played behind an all pro, most improved player of the year. Knox didn't do that. So Obi had a much taller uphill battle than Knox. Knox was given the minutes. He was given the role. We had no choice.
All I'm saying is it may be a mistake. Yes, you know what I'm saying? It could turn out to have been a mistake. But in the preponderance of evidence that we have of all the other moves and how they've evaluated other players, I'd say the fact that Knox is still here might mean something. And I just need to see it first. I just need to see him first before I vote him off the island.
I could dig that. Like I said, I'm still in the ilk of letting it simmer in the crock pot. However, when it comes to Knox, my patience, excuse me, my patience is kind of worn thin because it's like, how long we're gonna keep holding on to somebody that hasn't
fair.
Anything.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. That's 100% fair.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And it's unfortunate that he was in the situation because the cat. I'm not going to even say his name. I'm pulling a run right now. I'm pulling a man. I'm not going to even say his name. So did him like that, but also the others that came in, who came after him. He got buried even deeper underneath the bench. So it's what we're not privy to see in practice because obviously he's doing something that Thibs. Because if Thibs wanted him gone, we already know he'd be out of there,
This is what I'm saying. Like, there's little things to me that outside of the craziness of him being here that points to there's something else why he's here. And I don't think it's just the Kentucky tie. Like, they let Frank walk like with no blink of an eye. Like, there's a reason why Knox is still here. And
barely thanked him.
Let's see if there's if that's correct first before we say okay, this is their first slip up.
Well, what I'm getting at, man, is, well, first of all, I wanted to pat myself on the back for being very good at drawing GI into this debate. I'm gonna back out of it because I don't want to put the pause on GI's argument on a live stream like this. Right. So because when I saw GI go in, I was like, oh, I got him.
Wow.
I got him. And then so that's why. And I started to jump in and say, I was like, no, let it rock. And in my mind, I was like, I hope Free Keith jump in on his side. That's what I was hoping. But then Free Keith came in and was reasonable. And I was okay. So
the problem is I play on the internet and what's called the black sector of YouTube. We really troll. There's no way you gonna try that weak troll game you trying now.
What?
The fact of the matter is this. We're sitting here concerned. Somebody in the chat said, well, it ain't Knox's fault. How you supposed to get minute over Burks? Knox is 6'8", built like a Greek Adonis. Pause. Right. He can't get minutes over Alec Burks. I just had to look him up. I'm like, Burks is 6'6". Burks don't play 6'6".
Right.
No.
But look at Burks' work. Come on, man. Don't do that.
No. All I'm saying is he plays more like a 2. So they're talking about how is Knox gonna get minutes over Burks at 3? If that's the conversation, what is we giving this man $7 million for? How much money does Alec Burks make?
Yo, Just let's wait.
I just want to say, I don't think nobody's hating on Knox. You just bringing up what it is, man. That's
we in the middle of the off season, or I should say, we at the tail end of the off season.
Yeah.
Like, but the conversation we're having
we're
now,
at the very beginning of the new season.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel you. Okay, like twilight, sunrise, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying?
You said it's
midnight
okay.
old. Is midnight old yesterday, or is it new today? I don't know. Know. That's on you. That's you to call it. All I'm saying is that's where we at. Like wait for the other shoe to drop first. We right there. I'm not shipping them off because cats gonna look silly having to walk back they takes.
Exactly.
I want to
like
say
when
this.
we just got this is the first off season. Literally, this is the first off season this whole organization as a new organization had together. The first one for real.
This is at last season. Just like even Ron even said it was. We said a lot on Ron. I know I've been bringing him up a lot, but
Ron's my guy, bro.
Yeah, we all came to all agreed on it previously that I'm treating it last season for Knox as a red shirt year under Thibs because it was duly noted that he needed more development. He was a project player when he was drafted. Now the problem I have with I'm not gonna say that person's name is he beat on his chest, he jumped up and down, he's flipping tables, throwing chairs because that's who he wanted. Right. You throwing the temper tantrum. That's who I want. That's my guy. You get your guy. And it's basically like this. A little kid get that brand, you had the G.I. Joe, with the Kung Fu grip, but it was the greatest thing in the world, man. You got that G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu, you get that G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, but the minute you lose any one of those accessories and you get a new G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip with all the accessories, what happened to the other one? You put it to the side. You don't care about it as much.
Yeah.
And that's Knox. Knox was the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip without the accessories. And that guy was the kid.
Well, I think we're looking at the situation totally wrong. Thibs came in and really had to rebuild the team. What did that entail? The cats who needed development still needed development. Knox, Frank. And those cats, those were as if that was their first year in the league, and I feel like he was trying to rebuild them.
And I do, and
it's the reason why Frank is gone and Knox is still here. I feel like Frank may have been unsalvageable.
Yep. You know what? I agree with you on that. And let me just throw this out here at you.
So this is literally Knox coming into his sophomore year.
Yeah. I just want to throw this out there.
I feel like Thibs went back to basics with him.
Yeah, he did. And then when you regarding Frank was basically Frank was drafted too high. Let's call it like it is. He should have never been drafted like that in the first place.
The
late second rounder at that, because he was a project player. He could play defense, but he was brought in for a system that is no longer being used. It was no way, and they worked and put him around. It just didn't pan out. You let him go. With Knox,
we brought him for a European team playing in America.
Yeah, and you see with Knox has, you hear all the people he's been compared to, PG-13, KD. We've seen flashes of Knox,
the next great wing. The next great. We picked him over a dude that just got a 5-year, $207 million contract extension.
He is the only pure wing still on the team. Pure, honest to God, small forward. He is the only one on the team for real.
So, but my point is I'm not bashing Knox, and I'm not here to get a verdict on Knox, right? But what I want to say I want to first of all, I want to close out the thing that with me and GI, because I don't want my man to lose an argument on the internet, right? So I'm gonna say to GI that the absence of evidence
It's not
it is not the evidence of absence. That's what I'm saying about David. And
By the
you
way,
know
I see the Howard University bling today. I see the Howard bling. I ain't noticing at first. I see the Bisons. I see the
them
Bisons in the
Bisons.
building.
Yeah, man. And so I wanted to just say that to GI because listen, man, don't y'all listen.
Yeah,
GI
but
is
have you ever
the
heard the
sharpest
term?
dude in the.
Have you ever heard the term that come from the 5%ers? Was sweet to the hair, is poor to the soul. All that sounded good.
Yeah.
What did you just say though? Well, nothing. I gave you evidence. I gave you historical data.
No. Not your evidence, bro. Not your evidence. What I'm referencing is Fizdale, right? Just go. I know that. I know that. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is when I compare Brad Stevens to David Fizdale, we should not have didn't need to go any further because there is no comparison. When I compared the Boston Celtics championship pedigree to the Knicks, there is no comparison. And when I compare Jason Tatum's development to Kevin Knox's development, there is no comparison. That's what I was getting at. That's why I was trying to back away from the argument. Because what you were saying was right on I agree with you on you know what I'm saying, on a different track. But on this track, you know what I'm saying, I just want to stop it right here because we don't want to go down that road of comparing the Knicks and Celtics, Stevens and Fizdale, and Knox and Tatum. What it was what I was trying to get at is the cream will rise to the top when I was referencing RJ Barrett wanting to take on Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
And I was picking up, like I said, I was picking up what you putting down on that. But just the overall, because there was so much that came into that. So I wanted to touch, put my hand in the cookie jar and all over when it came to that, because everybody brought out some good takes. And like I said, there wasn't a lot of meat left on the bone. So, I had to scratch and scrape to get me a little something. I had to get a little bit of the bump of meat too.
Yeah, man. You had to throw that bone in the pot, man. Throw some rice in there. Use that broth. But yeah, man. So the thing I want to get at too is the RJ Barrett. I saw a picture and I can't find it now, and I started to save it and I didn't, and now I regret it. But I saw a picture of Julius Randle on one side, Kemba Walker in the middle, and RJ Barrett on the other side. And Julius Randle and RJ Barrett look the same height in the picture. But it's optics. Right? It's optics. And so I was doing this thing like, man, are they the same size? Are they the same height? In the picture, and I've been looking at it the whole time we've been talking, and I can't find it. But if I find it, I'll post it on the community tab. Right? Somebody probably put it on Twitter. But what I'm getting at is RJ Barrett. That defense, bro. The thing about being a great defender is not necessarily exceptional physical talent, but the willingness to do that every minute of every game, all season long, being a stopper.
All I know is we'll be fine, y'all. Like defensively, we'll be fine. I have zero doubt in my mind of that. We'll be fine.
Right. Okay.
I think too much is being made of it. In fact, like how Thibs operates, I feel like we can be very much assured that defense isn't going to be the area that like we're caught lacking.
Okay. So you don't think so? So are you saying that we don't need a 6'9" wing?
I mean, I feel like we may. That's a beautiful thing. That's dope.
Right.
That's a nice to have. I don't know. I don't know that we necessarily need specifically a 6'9", a 6'9" wing. Like, I just need the slim chance that Knox has gotten it together to materialize.
I heard what Soulfinger said about a 6'9" wing, and GI co-signed it, and I think I agree with them, bro.
Well, see, I can't take that. I'm piggyback because I got to give GI his props on that. GI was the first person that brought it up. I was thinking, but GI said it. I can't take I'm co-signing with him on Freezy. GI driving the Cadillac. I'm putting gas in that Joker, and I'm picking up the food so we can roll. We turning corners together.
Right. Well, we gonna see. We gonna see.
Right. GI and myself, we agree because coming out of January, me and GI said the same thing, right? Like we got that. That's why when we traded for Terrence Ferguson, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the player that GI wanted, an athletic wing that can defend, and we cut him before he even got his uniform.
Trash,
bro. But he 20.
But Knox is still here.
But Knox is still here.
And we should really have deeper questions about that, other than like, oh, it's because he can't play. I feel like I feel like Thibs took it back to the essence with Knox.
Right.
And literally it was as if this was his first drafted year and he was drafted to a team that was actually good.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like that red shirt year. He's taking Knox to bare metal. Now it's on Knox to put up a shut up at this point.
He was in the background of a 4th seed playoff team.
Right.
So like naturally, if this is going to be your first year, which I think is what really Thibs' plan was for him, rebuilding him totally. If that was literally his fourth year, I'm cool with the playing time he got.
Right. I agree with you. So the thing with Knox is, I had to talk to Hoodie Kev about this. Hoodie Kev had a meltdown live on the air, and he would get frustrated with it with me. He's like, every time they say stupid stuff, they say Knox this, and I'm like, bro, calm down, man, calm down, bro. We're gonna be all right, man. Just what Thibs is doing, he is putting Knox in bubble wrap. He's gonna strip down all the bad habits he learned over the years, get his body to much. Because the one thing about Knox, and this is why I always use boxing as a reference, bro. Knox's body was not ready.
No,
not
I agree.
His body, I disagree with that totally. His body wasn't ready. You bugging out, yo. You see his shot. You see his jumper. He has a beautiful jumper, and always has. His form is beautiful, bro.
Right. But what happens? What happens when Jay Crowder put his elbow on that beautiful shot?
That's just a matter of him, his focus and his concentration.
Nah, bro. At 6'8", 199, when a grown man that's been in the league put that weight on you, bro, it's a different feeling, bro. It's a different feeling. You know what I'm saying? And so you might be able to take it. You might be able to take that pounding that game or that week. But eventually, the accumulation of body shots wears you down, bro.
Yo, okay. Don't worry though. You see his head and his shoulders. You know what?
You talking about now, though, right?
No, I'm talking about always. Like he's always had those kind of like those damn like hillbilly shoulders, like mad long square. You see where his body is going.
He had the frame. He had the frame, but he needed to build it. He needed to build it up because
like he's built like a stronger KD.
Right now he is. Right now at 6'8", 215.
I just need him to get his mind together. That's it. If it's a slim chance, I just need to see it after this very first off season of them all together. I feel like there's a reason why Thibs is not even talking about Knox. You don't even hear him mention Knox.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with you in the present.
Secret weapon status.
I agree with you about the present status of Kevin Knox. The past Kevin Knox, I disagree with y'all a lot because I feel like the kid was at 6'8", 199. That's not an NBA body for a 3/4. Right? You want your fours to be beefy, bro. You can't throw dudes 199 in the post at all. Right? And the dude has heart because for 2 years in a row, Knox led the Knicks in blocks per minute. Right? That means when he was on the floor, his block rate was higher than anybody else on the team. That means he would go get it, but the physical pounding, the wear and tear on a dude 199, bro, it wears you out. That's what I'm saying about Knox. I'm not saying that I disagree with what you think Knox will be. What I'm saying is I disagree with what we think Knox was at the time.
Don't get it twisted. That's what I think he could be. I don't know if he will be or not. That's to be determined. This is not me, standing Knox and like, oh, we need to hold on to him because in 5 years he's going to turn into. I just want this one off season. That's what I want. That's it.
Yeah, give him a whole time
this one full off season, and then I want to make my observations and cast offs from the island.
I'll say this: you look at how he's built. I never saw the comparison of a KD. I never saw that. I thought of more of actually, believe it or not, PG-13. The way he's built. He's kind of long. He's kind of lanky.
I can see that too, but I also feel like PG-13 is almost like KD. Like, if you could just not look at KD's head.
Yeah. Paul George is an elite athlete too. I don't know if Kevin Knox is an elite athlete. Very, very good.
I don't think either of those are bad body comps for him.
Yeah, I just never saw the KD comparison. I guess because I was looking at the height. Because to me, KD is KD is actually a unicorn, bro. If you look at it, what he called as he dubbed KP, but KD is a unicorn. We've never seen nothing like that before, man. In a sense, that can move. I mean, he's 6'11", moving like a 2 or a point guard, man.
Right.
He has the range of a 2 or 3. I mean, what the man could do. Then if he wanted to play deep, lock in on you, he can play the defense. He's a scary piece of equipment to have on the court, man. Bottom line, from the time he came in, with regarding what Unc Freeze said about Knox, he came in. He had to grow into his body. You saw the frame. It just wasn't strong enough to take the pounding at the time. Right. But you saw him bulk up. But then, like you're saying, Free Keith, it's his mental. We can get that, if they can get that mental breakthrough, that mental block he has or whatever, there's no telling which way this cat can go. That's
what I'm saying. Like, dude, I've never seen anything like it. Like in such a bad degree. Like I am not calling no holes in his game. Like, he definitely has the skill. We have all seen it. He has, he has shown it to us. We have seen what he can do with his body. It's his mind. And dude, if he unlocks that, like, we got something, yo.
Yeah, I was saying that but I'm actually living a situation like that with my daughter. My daughter plays ball. She was at one high, before she got into high school, she loved playing ball. She learning the game. She said, Dad, I want to play ball. Got out there and she was learning. One high school wanted her to come out there because she's 5'8". You got a 5'8".
Ooh.
She in the 8th grade. She was the 8th grader, 5'8". Yeah.
What?
So she didn't go to the high school that was trying to recruit her, to try to get her in at this time. Goes to this high school. She said, well, then all this stuff, we'll transfer at the middle of the year. Then everything broke loose. But she wound up playing with this one school, the school she was at. I ain't going to even mention the school. Coach told her everything that she had been learning. They told her your rip through's wrong, your shooting form is wrong. She was a catch and shoot player. She was at that level. She played on the co-ed team, could grab 7 rebounds. This is against boys. Right. Didn't know what she was doing. She's grabbing 5 to 7 rebounds a game. And you got boys on the team that's like 6'1", 6'2". Right. So she gets with this team, this school, and they broke her confidence. Tell you not to dribble, not teaching your skill sets and all like that. You're supposed to develop them at that age and the way they are. So we get her to the school she was supposed to be. Now we're trying to get through that mental block of what to do on the court. So I'm living that with not the Knox situation with that, because the potential, like I said, potential gets you fired, whatever. But it's still there. Those still the skill sets and everything. But you got to have that person believe and understand where they're coming from. And I see that with Knox. There's a lot of that. Only thing with Knox, and a change, I'm on that. A change of scenery may actually benefit him in the long run. You know, not that I want to give up on the cat, but a change of scenery may give up, may do better. Look what look what Burks, Trey Burks, what happened with him, his journey.
Right. Because
you know,
that's where that was going to be my closing argument against our argument that we referenced earlier, that when you compare Kevin Knox to Alec Burks was a lottery bust journeyman, but he stayed in the league for 10 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin Knox didn't have to flourish right away to be a successful NBA player. There's
a value. There is a value to time, right? And I think sometimes in our evaluation of these players, we like, and I'm gonna bring the Frank. Frank and Knox to me are like two examples of the same subject, or like varying degrees. Like, there are dudes who are willing to put in unlimited time into getting Frank and Knox where they need to go, where they need to be. And that's fine. Right. If you're not, if these aren't millionaires playing multi-billion-dollar games. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have a value between, like, how long is it going to take me for this person to get where I need them to be the benefit for this team, as this team is also getting better. How much time do I give them? How much time do I invest in them?
Well, how much time do you have?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much? Like, if for example, like, just give you a base kind of easy example. If I get a guy that's a project, right? I get a guy that's a project, but my team, the team is feeling like, because of all the other talent on the team is like maybe 2 years away from maybe contention, right? Because of the where they are right now and the talent level on the team. That project now, if that project takes you 3 years to develop, that value, that's tradable value now, because I feel like I could get a chip before that time. I feel like the team around him is going to be better before he gets to the point that he'll be able to contribute. Tradable asset. You can trade in good conscience. Like, yeah, that person might become Jordan, but we just had him too early for what we needed.
Okay. I'm picking up what you put down.
So when people spin back around, like, oh, like look at what Knox became on the Clippers, or this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, we had him for 5 years. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at losing him. Like, it took too long.
Right.
And see, yeah. So yeah, Freaky, you saying what? I'm picking, because I feel like we're in the same wheelhouse in that regards with that. Because, I mean, we've had him for a while, and I mean, granted, the cat never really had proper coaching, and we get that. Knox. I mean, you look at it. You had the one person that jumped up and down and wanted him. He got cut loose. Then the next, Mike Miller was coaching for his life, so he just like, I didn't even think about it. He didn't even look his way.
Right.
In a Thibs, and he's looking at what he has. And really, the only film you really have on Knox is his rookie season, and there are flashes. There's some good flashes, man.
Right. Good flashes, not just your regular average. Like, what's his highest point game?
31.
31.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and 31, and he mashed on Ben Simmons that game.
This is what I'm saying. That's not a scrub. That's not a scrub. His problem is not physical. It's not skill related. He's probably even further skill wise than if his mind was right now, we'd see that he's even further skill wise than we probably even think.
It's confidence, man. Confidence is
It's more than confidence. He gotta want to be in it. He never, to me, ever looked like he wanted to be in it.
Yeah, he has a nonchalant kind of.
He's been giving me the impression of a guy whose parents wanted him to be something that he didn't want to be, and he just went along with it.
I think you're wrong right there. I was with you until you said that.
I think he really wants, son, for real. Like, he never gave me any kind of enthusiasm that he wants to play basketball, bro.
But the deal is what I think with Knox is twofold, right? Just hear me out on it. I think Knox thought he was the first piece in a youth movement. I think they were preaching that to him, like, "Hey, Kevin Knox, you are going to be the leader of our youth movement." I think that's what they do. That's what was being preached to him. They were probably like, "Yo, next year we'll probably."
What they believe.
Yeah, I think, and this is what I think they were telling him, right? Next year we're gonna get you a Cam Reddish or Kobe White out of North Carolina, and we're gonna continue to build. Now, mind you, I'm telling you this as if it was real time, right? Nobody could predict where the Knicks were picking, but they were like, "Yo, we're gonna build a young core around you, and we're gonna try to win championships." Because when you heard Kevin Knox speak, he was like, "Yeah, I'm bringing in the young guys, man, teaching the young guys." Y'all don't remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. And so they preach that to him, and then midstream they shift and go sign 19 dudes that play his same position.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Freezy.
And then two, I think the physical, and I'm sorry, Sophie, I just want to get this in real quick, but two, I think the physicality of the league left him scared, timid.
Fear is not anything that I saw in him at all. He sulked. There were sulking moments. But I did not see anything that would point. I'm not even going to put that on that man. I did not see fear.
I did.
It was not.
I did. Going to the basket. Like, they were like, keep going to the basket, and he would keep going to the basket. Yeah, y'all don't remember the Knox floater? The Knox floater.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a joint that was for the first 3 months he was winning with, and then when the rest of the league got onto him, like, he kept doing that same thing, and they locked him down.
And he couldn't adjust.
But he'd fight through 3-4 cats.
Right.
He's not scared. He's just not like.
His confidence is shot. He's that mental block. Because I like to say this here. You maybe think that, let me throw this out because I don't think I ever heard anybody bring this up. Because of he feel like he's been slighted. Like Freezy put the example out there because he's been slighted.
What information do we have about that? We don't hear no disgruntled anything from anybody in his camp.
Didn't say he was disgruntled, bro. I'm thinking he was heartbroken.
He's disgruntled. Yeah, you think about it. With somebody you dealt with a person they didn't like the job and they just kind of like whatever, man, and just shut down like that.
Because you just thought the job was going to be one thing.
Yeah,
and then you get the job. And they want to being
the other. So you basically he could either feel like the other organization, the previous regime lied to him, whatever way you want to put it. And he was like, okay, this is what it is, then this is what you get from me. I do whatever, man. That he just kind of like threw it in like that and giving you not even 10%. But now you got somebody like Thibs that's actually bagging him. Maybe he can stroke that fire and get him going.
Right.
Look, I think it's some other stuff that they're working on with him. I don't think that he got the extension for no reason. I do not believe that there is a lack of trust in his ability. I don't think so at all. And I think those Knox.
Yeah. No,
if I heard anything like, dude, like, it's hard to keep these things from reaching the public at some point. Like, like, his pops would know that. You know what I'm saying? They talk to people, this, that, the other. Like, somebody would find out. Like, we've gotten nothing negative, not one negative thing from his camp at all. Never. Like, I haven't gotten any. So that must mean, like, there's some attention that he's getting. But I also listened to Thibs. Even at this last press conference, this last press conference, the day 3 of the camp, when he talks about, again, the things that he looks for in the things that he looks for in guys coming back to the coming to camp and even in practice, he's looking for seriousness. seriousness, guys who are we're not listening to the words that he uses. Like, yo, like these are the things that's probably holding your man back, but they see that they're working on it.
Okay. I dig it.
I honestly believe if Knox was 100% what we think what we think he is, he wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
I do not believe that. I can't believe that based on what I'm seeing of the other moves that they're making. Not just because he's from Kentucky. I just don't believe that.
I got you. And I don't even think the Kentucky thing is real, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that that's as real as we think. Like,
it's easy to try to connect the dots that way because we got so many players on
and this is all the information we have.
Yeah. Let me give you two examples to go against the Kentucky argument. Right? When the Knicks had the opportunity to keep Kentucky players at positions of need, and position of need is last year a 6'8", 6'9" defensive wing super athlete that can take on the defensive assignments against other teams. We cut him. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Right?
Come on, man.
True.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was the number 2 pick in the draft, bro.
Yeah.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist was the number 2 pick in the draft. And defensive at the time, just bear with me, at the time, athletic, versatile, big man that could block shots in limited time and scowl a BCA, we cut him.
Yeah.
And brought in Taj Gibson. Brought Taj back.
Yeah. Scal is on the G League. He was in our G League affiliate.
Yeah, we signed him to the roster. Remember, we signed him to the roster first, to training camp roster, and he didn't even make it. By this time in training camp, Scal LaBCA was already cut.
Yeah, because I remember it was talks of maybe we'll bring him up to play center if so-and-so, if Mitch get hurt. I remember all the talks. I remember seeing all that.
And both of those dudes that I just mentioned that got cut were veterans out of the University of Kentucky.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's easy to connect the dots that way because we have so many Kentucky players and you got Kenny Payne there and all like that. Right. However, if you're not playing to the level of what Thibs and his organization want, they're going to let it go. I don't care who you with. Right. You know, that's the way it is. But again, we're not this front office and everything. They keep everything really close to the vest. They tight lip on everything, man. They worse than those cats in the spy movies. They get captured and tortured. They're not giving up no information. They just holding on to it.
They just holding on to it. They rather take the cyanide pill.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the whole thing.
Yes, it is. Crack that tooth and go down. Because before we were like a leaky, leaky bucket. Man, information running all over the place, rumors and stuff.
And that ruins plans.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm glad Free Keith, you brought it up. You said it ruins plans. How many times we had it was supposedly, it came out that we actually were looking at somebody or making a move. The information got out, and then the trade, the trade blew up or whatever. Move we were making blew up because somebody had opened their mouth.
Do a million times. And I think I personally think the Kevin Durant situation and how the season opened up is what got Mills canned. It's because he filled the boss's head up with what we was gonna do, and it was all in the media. And everybody's Stephen A. is saying So now Dolan's thinking, it's playoffs for us the next year. Now you got to get us in the playoffs.
Yeah, now you
got to get us in the playoffs. Stupid.
Yeah, you looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
You looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
Right.
But Leon moved totally different, and I appreciate it. It's frustrating, but cool. It creates more fan conversations. That's dope.
Also,
this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is fantasy land.
Yeah, we never had this situation before because information was thrown all over the place, and then it goes the way it goes. Now we're in a situation that we coming up with our own hypothesis. I use a big scientific word for once. Show a little education on that one.
theories and hypotheses.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm loving it. I really do. I love it because it's when it happens, because when something great happens, when a move happens, we stand back. We're like, what? Did you see that? And Knicks Nation is on fire. And how excited were you, seriously, to think about when Leon Rose took, I forgot the cat name, we traded, and then he flipped him for 2 second-round draft picks.
Yo, Cats did not. That first season, that first draft season, like, is what really kind of like made me raise my eyebrow to Rose.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe it was a fluke. He came back and did the same thing again the next draft season.
Yeah. So we see how he operates. He sits back. He's a tactician, man.
His team, his whole team. We couldn't really. I feel like we don't appreciate that front office team as much as we should. There is no. How does a guy like Kemba? How does a guy like Kemba get bought out? So he's totally free and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Same day he signs with the Knicks, and nobody even knew it was a thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, no, not at all. And
nobody even who across the league was even speaking about him being bought out.
Nobody, because everybody was looking for him to get traded. You're looking for a trade.
Quietly, I still think that Dolan paid for that.
You know what?
And that's my hidden theory. That's my hidden theory.
It looks, we already know that Dolan got deep pockets, and he's not afraid to throw money out. He's proven that. He's proven that throughout the years. Granted, there's been some bad investments, but he's willing to do it.
It'll be illegal, but I feel like he paid for that, yo. I feel like he paid for his buyout.
And you got to look at it like this. So it was a lot of setup was in the. I guess you could look at this whole Kemba thing. I mean, hindsight is something else. And what I'm saying is this. We were going after Evan Fournier before. At the last year trade deadline, we tried to get him before.
Yeah.
And if you look at how Kemba and Evan played together in that time, that sample size we got, they were rocking together, bruh. They played well together. So you get Evan, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe they were shaking the trees over there in Oklahoma City to see what was going to go on. But then, and the way you put it, maybe Dolan did slide some of that cash on the table.
That's the only way. Like, there was no. I'm not even talking about the talk of us getting him. Like, there was no conversation at all about your man getting bought out. Like, no rumors at all. A total afterthought, a 4-time All-Star, still in his prime, getting bought out, and nobody in the league talked about it. You cannot get me to believe that Dolan ain't paid for that.
Something, man. I mean, I didn't think about it until you said it, but yeah, man, it just happened. I mean, the way Leon's got his ear. And quietly, if you look at quietly, we've put on paper. Like I said, on paper, we got a top seed team. We got a top 3 team in the East. On paper, really. We just got to make sure we play like that.
Yeah. Yo, my crazy prediction is 54 wins and top 3 or better in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, you only 2 wins more than I put. I was saying. I said 52. Yeah,
that's respectable. 52. I respect that. I'll respect that loss. I'll take that loss.
And then on the short end, the low end, 48.
And
that's what I'm at. I see either 4. And the only reason I say that is pray that nothing happens like that. We don't have any crazy injuries. That's the only way I can see us dropping like that. Seriously. Well, what we have now, well, come on, man. What we have now, we can mix and match pieces all over the place. It's just going to come to a point of how soon the team starts clicking, the chemistry, because we don't want to do what we did last season and start to peak too soon, because that's what happened. Between the injuries and us peaking as early as we did. I think that was our downfall right there. Atlanta just happened to get hot at the right time, and we had those injuries.
Man, Atlanta ain't beat us in ages, man. Like that. That should not have happened.
I mean, last time they beat us, man, Jesus was a baby, man. Let's call it like that.
Trae Young, no Trae Young. Like Atlanta ain't beat us in ages, man. Bad Knicks team, good Knicks team.
But you know what?
And we about to get back to business on Atlanta, so I'm not even really concerned about them. Let's get back to talking about us.
Yeah,
like these cats.
For me, go ahead, Freaky. I don't mean to cut you off.
No. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying they're just. I want to say to them this. So thank you because you highlighted our deficiencies on what we needed.
That's it. That's all.
You know, so you can live. You could take if you learn from the lesson that you got dealt. You like okay. And the first thing Thibs said after the playoff, we need shooting. And what did he go get? Shooting. Then what he drafted? Shooting. Because these rookies we got, those are Thibs rookies. Those are Thibs style players.
Those are definitely Thibs style players. Definitely.
The one that they play defense, but the other caveat that he's been saying, shooting. Sims is a Thibs center. If you look at it, we look at his main center he had that we link him to, and that's Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah was not an offensive threat. I mean, he had that whirlwind shot that he kind of would shoot up, would go, but he was defense, running rim to rim. What is Sims? Defense, running rim. He's raw, and he's got. And the beautiful thing, we don't have to force him in.
Cats clown me, but I see Blake Griffin in that dude, yo. Like I see some Blake in that cat.
Far as his development or his skill set now,
like where he could be headed.
You know what? I would say I really can't see what I see in him right now, man. Because hop wide with his hops and his athletic ability, yeah, I can see a Blake Griffin. But
and you see the shooting. Yo, I'm telling. I don't know. Like that, he got them ups, and it's explosive ups. Like, and it looked effortless. That I don't even understand that. That dude got up. He got up one time. His head was literally over the rim, and it looked like it didn't even take him no effort to get up.
Well, you know that was that one preseason. I mean, it's not preseason. The one summer league game where Deuce hit him with a He hit him with an alley-oop, and he came down. I don't remember who he flushed it on.
Oh, but the dude he bodied, the murder that he had, that he should be in jail
he
for?
caught that body. He caught that body, man. I think that, hey, look, 911 was called when the ball left Deuce's hand. They had to call 911 because they knew it was murder. Murder was the case they had to get that man because he caught a body, bro.
It's our depth. I actually think that's going to be our secret weapon this year. Our second unit is literally 100% the same second unit as last year. Yeah. And I think that chemistry carrying over, like that second unit is going to be very difficult for second units to deal with, which means that the other team's main guys is going to have to stay in longer than usual.
Hey, but fellas, you realize we have three lineups on this squad. In this, we have three right now. We have three lineups. When have we ever had three lineups in the Knicks nation, man?
Thibs don't go that deep, though.
Yeah, exactly. Thibs don't go that deep, but that's
fine. Yeah, especially with the amount of like injury concerns that we have on the team to have this much depth. And I even think that it's masterful. Like, okay, cool. You got guys who are injury prone, but they're like top level guys. You got a top level guy who's injury prone behind that guy. You have, you know what I'm saying? And then you have your young guys who are talented behind that guy. Our depth at the positions of like point guard, especially like, you got Rose backing up Kemba. You got Rose backing up Kemba.
Which is crazy. Who would ever think you would see that?
For any portion of time that they are both healthy, we got 48 minutes of like all-star point guard play.
I know. That's crazy. We were
our fives. Noel and Mitch stay healthy. We got 48 minutes of elite rim protection.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about it is Sims he can just sit back in there and marinate, get ready, because we don't have to rush to get him on the court.
Because you behind two guys legitimately better than yourself, but any one of them get injured, and you got Sims and Taj behind them.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Yo, I just feel encouraged. The fact that of our depth is really the thing that's going to be the key.
That man, say it again. You know what? In immortal words of Ron, say it again, Keith. I'm gonna let you
And
just
I don't
gloss
even
over
care
that.
if Tibbs only plays 9 guys. I don't even care. It's the fact that those 9 guys have capable backups ready to go if they go down.
Exactly. And see, that's what is missing. Because I don't think there's only one other team I can think of that has good depth, and that's Denver. Denver has good depth.
Yeah, Denver does have good depth.
But, bro, what we got, I mean, you got to pick your poison. That's what I like to look at our team. I love,
We have probably one of the top 3 deepest teams in the league.
Exactly. And the thing is we already know they're gonna overlook it. They're gonna say Miami this and whatever else, and they're already gonna probably slide us in at the 6th seed or something like. Oh, I've heard New York at best was 6th seed. Well, see, that's when I had to ask when he's talking because they just got to throw out stuff like that for clicks. They do, because if anybody knows the game of ball.
I honestly believe that they think that, and because you know why? Because I think because some fans think that.
Well, the thing is, I put it like this here, Keith, free Keith. I put it like this. They want clicks for one. One, they want clicks. Two, they just, it was luck. That's not luck, man. If anybody knows a Thibs team, Thibs, everywhere Thibs go, he improves. Players get better. The organization works well. Only problem he had in Minnesota was he was the GM and the coach. Now he just focused on coaching. We got the front office and all that in place. Only thing he needs to just go down there. And then you got Johnny Bryant. And I think we're going to feel more of Johnny Bryant's presence this season than we did last season. We're in a beautiful storm that we got brewing.
Beautiful storm, yo. Beautiful storm. You said it correctly.
Because
correctly.
Because really, I like some of them are really trying to talk us, talk down on us and everything. And I love it.
I love that. I love that.
It.
Please continue. Yes. Yes. Julius's playoff performances. Oh yeah, his playoff performance was trash. Okay, yes, we're trash. Okay, cool. I want to hear it. I want all of that.
I mean, they got to base something because they have nothing to really work with. They don't have any comedic material. You can't say anything negative about us. They made bad trades. Oh no, they made bad draft picks. No. Oh, no, we didn't do anything. We hit the nail on the head. If anything, Leon Rose and Thibs, and they were like surgeons. They were surgical with all this to get us from where we were to where we are now. Because in one season, you've seen a complete culture change. Cats are buying in.
And I cannot even emphasize enough that in one season with no off season.
That's big.
This is why I put so much on this full and entire off season that we now have together. What we accomplished with no off season, I just need to see all these guys after this off season. That's it. Then we can go ahead and start chopping. Because if we did all of that with no off season, I want to know. I just want to see what this is going to be after.
Well,
this full off season.
This is what I want to throw out to you right
here. And the year of chemistry.
This is what I want to throw out to you right now. Because I'm gonna tell you, and I'm using RJ because we were talking about RJ earlier. RJ's rookie season was cut short.
Both seasons.
Yeah. But then he came back and improved. And RJ is the most disrespected Knick on our team.
I love that because I like how these guys actually respond to that.
Yeah. He's the most they've got cats over, they put cats over RJ, and I'm like, come on, man, for real? What did he do? Oh, because he's on this team. This team they love this cat because he's on this team. RJ been putting in that work. But it's all said, you know what? I just want RJ to go out there and just bust him in the head. That's all I want to do.
Look, we're gonna get this chip. The media is not gonna help us.
Yeah. It's literally us against the world, which I like. I like that. I like them kind of odds, man. I like being the villain. Like I like us being like MC Ren, the villain in black. If you want to put us like that, we could be the villain in black, bro. It's just like a my Tombstone, one of my favorite movies. We could be Doc Holliday. I'll be your Huckleberry. That's all I got to say about that, man. We could be your Huckleberry. But it's just really funny how they want to count us out. before we even get started. But everybody else, Brooklyn, they're going to the championship. They're gonna win it all.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, Philly. Oh, well, Philly, this, and this. Oh, go ahead. Oh, Milwaukee. Oh, blah blah blah. But you forgot. But it kind of you glossing over the drama that they already had before. And I'm saying that Milwaukee's not the same Milwaukee team because they couldn't hold all those players. They had to let people go because they had to get paid. They got paid other places. And that one defensive backbone. See, it's not that PJ Tucker was a high flying, flashy player, but what he brought to that team, they lost that toughness. The team that did get improved by them was by his presence. Now it's going to be Miami. That's going to be a problem. I can see that. Milwaukee's gotten weaker. Oh, we already know all that internal turmoil and strife that Philly got going. Come on, man. The whole Ben Simmons. You can't turn on the radio or TV or whatever. They got commercials about Ben Simmons and all the issues he's got going on with him and that fiasco. And then Kyrie going on what he's got going. I mean, it's sitting beautifully for us. Seriously, it's sitting real beautiful.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't complain about it.
So, and I was looking at it, like I said, I just looked at it like this. With all them with where you called it, I could easily see us getting that 3 spot. Easy. I mean, with all the other drama going on, we're gonna leapfrog other teams that are above us.
They start this year if Philly starts this year without Ben Simmons, they food.
Oh man, yes. Well cooked food at that.
So why y'all beefing with me then, bro? Why y'all beefing with me when I say certain things? Like when I say the Knicks could be the second seed in the East. Why cats beefing with me?
Why cats are beefing with you on?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe some people don't see the foresight like that or have that. Oh, I know, because you get called a homer a lot. So I mean, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, but but the thing is you're not being a homer. That's being a realist. If you take strictly emotions and feelings out of it and look at it from a logical perspective, with all the other drama and stuff that's going on, the moves that we made, our second unit has not changed. And our second unit was putting up, you put the points up. What was it, 50 points? They were giving up 50 points at a time? Or averaging something like that? You gave the stats out yesterday. I can't remember the exact numbers.
Well, let me since I got Free Keith here. Free Keith, they say I'm a homer, right? Free Keith did.
Oh, yeah.
So they say so they say I'm a homer, right? But here's the thing. A lot of the stuff that I said is accurate, bro. Like I told Free Keith years ago that the Knicks should trade Joakim Noah right now. I was spamming the thread on Twitter. Trade Joakim Noah right now and tank for RJ Barrett. Freaky, did I not say that years before the Knicks even got RJ Barrett? I said that, right?
Yeah.
Freaky was like, man, why you keep bringing up that one time you was right?
That one thing up all the time.
Yeah, like that one time I was right. I keep pounding the table.
That's your that's your Al Bundy moment.
So I said. So, and I also said, RJ Barrett will become a deadly 3-point shooter.
Right?
Yeah. I said that people was like, man, you're a homer. And I said the Knicks will win 42 games this year. And this is last year when I said it. And Cass was like, man, you're a homer for the Knicks. The Knicks ain't winning 42 games. Vegas said they're going to win 22 and a half. Bro,
I knew we were gonna win over 4. I said we were gonna win. I said we were gonna win 40-41. I was like, there's no way in the world after what we had.
Yeah, bro. What I'm saying is people will say I'm a homer, and I heard it before, and I don't care, right? People are like, well, I'm a journalist. Really, you a journalist, bro? You got to be. I have to be honest with all my takes. You a journalist, bro? You look like a YouTuber to me. You know what I'm saying? You like cats legit hit me with that. Like my takes have to be, I have to be honest with I have to be real with every. Really? You work for the Wall Street Journal. You work for the New York Post. You look like a YouTuber to me, bro. I'm just saying.
But people just like you say, they want to be seen and all like that for some folk. And I just in a mortal words of cameo, you're talking out the side of your neck. You know,
Yeah.
A lot of them. I just can't get down with that because you want the clicks and you just want to throw stuff out there. But I gotta admit, I gotta give you your dues, Freezy. You called a lot of it because I've been in the background listening to you for a while, watching you cats for a while.
Right.
And when you said some things, because I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't really big on us getting Joakim Noah. We should have got rid of him when we had the first. We shouldn't have signed him in the first place.
Shouldn't have signed him in the first place. Couldn't pass a physical, but we pushed it through.
Yeah, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson did. He was asleep. He was drunk at the wheel on that one.
Yep. And so the thing with and the reason why I say RJ Barrett is not because RJ Barrett was Adonis or he was a magician, is because certain winning characteristics you want to have in your organization. Right? I'll give you an example of myself. My boss used to be like, yo, without Uncle Freezy, bro, I don't know where we'd be at. And people used to be mad when he used to say it, right? But then on 3:30 on Friday afternoon, he'd be like, yo, I need somebody to stay till 7:30. Right? And people be like, man, why you wait till 3:30? You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm going to quit. You know, all kind of stuff. I'd be like, I'll stay. I'll stay to 7:30. I'll just let me know what it is you need to get done, right? And then I'll stay. And so if I need to stay till 7:30, I'll stay to 7:30. If I need to stay later than 7:30 to get it done, I'll stay later than 7:30 to get it done, right?
Yeah.
But you're gonna pay me. Is what I used to tell my boss. He's like, man, you know we're gonna pay you. You can't work off the clock. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? And so the reason why I say that is because you have to have certain people in your organization that's willing to take those steps and do those things that other people in your organization are not willing to do.
Exactly.
That's the reason why I say we gotta have. That's the reason why you gotta praise the young quickly, right?
Yeah.
Nick, he's in the building. What's good?
What's good, man? You hear me?
Yeah, man. What's good, man? How the family?
Family's good, man. Family's good.
Good, man. Good to see you, boss.
Good to see y'all, man.
Salute.
I know you coming in here to bash Emmanuel quickly, and I'm telling you, I'm ready to fight.
Nah, I think quickly should start. Am I bashing him? Is that bad? He should start over Kimba. You all right?
What'd you say?
He should start over Kimba. Let me take a sip on that one. Nothing? Nobody.
I have nothing. That just took my breath away. I have nothing.
All right. I only jump in like every once in a while just to drop a couple tidbits, right?
Bombs. Yes.
So recently, this is big, right? So recently, I had a conversation with a doctor I work with, because y'all know I work at the ER.
Right.
Said, doc, just to give you a background on this doctor, he went to Duke around the time that RJ and Zion went to Duke, right?
Right.
Zion gets hurt, and he ended up writing a dissertation or thesis or something like that on how players like Zion could stay healthy, and like their knees and like managing their injuries and stuff. So I figured, you know what, he's a Knicks fan too. Let me ask him, what do you think about Kemba? Said, bro, what would it take for Kemba to stay healthy this season? Or what's the chances you think Kimba would be healthy this season? Salute Alowise. Shout out. My man said 60% chance Kimba stays healthy this season. I wanted to hear y'all take like what y'all think about 60% chance.
That is not good.
Okay.
I mean, 60% for the season, that's not good. But
That's
I mean,
not
it
good
also
at all.
depends on how you manage the time. We got the bodies to put around there. So I just don't. Kimba's going to get his time,
Yeah.
but his time is going to be monitored because you're splitting between he and D Rose, and with having IQ and Burks and Deuce. I think Kimba's time can get. He'll be able to stretch that time because I really don't see us using. You don't have to run Kimba in the ground.
No,
like that.
I agree.
So go ahead.
The other thing is people talk about minutes distribution and like running guys down into the dirt and all that stuff when they talk about RJ and like Randall, like Thibs is overplaying guys and stuff like that. I don't believe that because hell, LeBron did it his whole career. Like it just depends on the player. I often mention like the studies that San Antonio did, but also Utah followed up and they said that there are certain players, they were specific to like Rodney Hood and Alec Burke. They said 22 minutes, once they cross that 22-minute threshold,
they broken down.
They break down.
I remember.
So I think that's the number, the magic number for Kimba. If he could stay around 22 minutes, because even Chris Paul, when he stayed healthy in OKC, in general, he stayed around 22 minutes, and then he rested. And then last quarter, he literally would come in and drop like he would close the game. And that's why I think like if you flip it and say, hey, IQ, you start. And Kimba, you beat IQ for the fourth quarter, just like we had. In other words, IQ takes what's dude's name that just left, that everyone hates, that should never be named.
Yeah, him.
Tank Commander himself.
Yeah.
If IQ takes his minutes, and then you say Kimba, hey, you played 22 minutes and close every game, are we better off that way? I don't know the answer. I'm just throwing it out there for Knicks fans.
You know, that's an interesting take because, excuse me. At first, when you said I had to take a cause to pause. I was like, wait, hold on, what? Huh? Who? But you hear it out and you speaking medically like you're doing, bringing it in. Excuse me. That's an interesting take because I was along the lines of you working Kimba enough that 20 to 21 minutes between you splitting 20 to 21 minutes between he and Rose. Then what I say is you have him play enough a portion of the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You sit in them for a little bit. You bring in Rose and you bring in IQ and give him IQ and Rose to get in, but you got to do the same with Rose as well.
Yeah.
Basically set it up enough where you can start it off with Kimba, but you can finish with him in the fourth quarter, and you work it in with Rose and IQ in between. But after seeing the summer league, you see where they're going with it. They're trying to give IQ more of a point guard role,
right?
To play him. The beautiful thing about it is the fact that you got Deuce under him, so you keep bringing him in, so you can really reduce those minutes, and you don't have to kill them because there are going to be games when we're doing those back-to-backs that Kimba and Rose are going to be sat. They're going to sit them.
The one thing about IQ and that, bro, I've been trying to like work on this video for a long time. I just don't have the time. But IQ to me is like we're seeing the beginning stages of like one of the great NBA stories ever been told. The reason why I mentioned that is IQ is out here saying, I am a point guard. Guys, listen to me. I am a point guard. Summer League, 8 assists per game. Every game we saw him talking to the refs. He's talking to other players. He's trying to take tips. But then when I listen to old videos of like Kobe, in the off season, he's going up to guys like Reggie Miller and stealing their moves. Like, how do you do that move? And then in the finals, he does the same move to Reggie Miller to win the game. And then he pats it down like, guys, I got this. Like, imagine IQ, who just got the chance to go to Team USA to practice, whether or not he finished or not. Like, that is development from people don't think about it, but like IQ is not a veteran. Same thing with Obi Toppin. Neither one deserved to be part of that Team USA practice squad. Like, our coach pulled those strings for a reason.
Right.
And then IQ in that environment, based on what I saw last season, IQ, I know he was walking up to guys like, yo, bro, how you do that move? How many hours you practice? How you do this? How you do that? And now we got two guys, Kimba, who is probably closer to IQ, and then also you add in Derrick Rose, who's been a good influence on Kimba. We could legit say that IQ is in the best situation to develop into a good player or a great player, for that matter, because he has the attitude already.
Right.
Like, he could legit come in and say and steal the starting spot. Who knows? Who cares? But it's just better for us. And that's the only reason why I brought up that point with Kimba not starting but finishing every game. And then also, too, IQ starting every game, but learning from the vets.
Right. Right.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me throw this out here. What you think about the whole with you watch Summer League? What you think about Deuce? You think that Deuce is going to be a problem for not a problem in a bad way, but cause IQ to kind of start looking over his shoulder?
No. The reason why, okay, some people are going to take this the wrong way, but I'll put it out there. And Deuce McBride passing acumen so far to me looks equal to like Frank Ntilikina. You're going to hear that and be like, what? But what I'm saying is he doesn't anticipate guys being open. Like, he doesn't have that anticipatory passing skill. But I could see it from IQ. Not that you have to have it. I'm just saying he doesn't. Like, he's more Marcus Smart to me. And he could play next to IQ or even anyone else. But I see him more replacing Burke, Evan Fournier, all those guys, but I don't see him being IQ. Like, it's different.
Right.
It's a different bill.
Okay.
Okay, I take that because you brought a different perspective on that as well. Because I didn't think about, you never heard anybody say that he could possibly replace Alec Burke. You hear a lot of things, and I'm one of those guilty of it, looking at him that he could be coming for the point guard because of IQ. But yeah, it's another way.
Look, and again too, like, if we had to trade someone to get someone and we're like trying to upgrade and we got this championship aspiration, I mean, IQ could go and, I mean, it'll be fine. But at the same time, and Deuce could replace him. Yes, it's all fine. But I don't see, number one, we have been risk averse with our trades.
Right.
And then two, we haven't been trading young players either.
And draft picks.
Draft picks.
Yeah. I mean, the way we set it, the way we work everything is trade is the very last thing before in their way of moving. We have a very different front office, like I said. It's a front office we've never seen before or felt the effects of. So it's all new and undiscovered country for a lot of us. Well, for all of us, because like I said, we never seen this before. And for some people, for some in Knicks Nation, it's uncomfortable because you're not knowing. But not knowing sometimes is the not knowing is a lot sometimes, and if it's in many cases the best thing. So just step back and let them work it.
Right.
I wanted to throw one more thing out there. Just
can I ask you a question
my
first,
healthcare
though?
experience, huh?
Can I ask you a question first, though?
All right, go ahead.
Hey, so how's the young point guard doing?
He sleep, number one.
What's he doing? Sleep? He's supposed to be aggravating you right now.
Nah, he's quiet, man. Like he's good.
Oh,
He just chill.
Okay.
Like the bad part is I bought him like this Knicks onesie, and day one of wearing it, man, he threw up on it, and like in 2 days before I could like wash it, put it back on him, he already outgrew it.
Wow.
Like he's legit 3 feet, bro, at 5 months. Like
wow, 5 months. Wow, time's
5 months and
flying,
3
bro.
feet, bro. Yeah.
Time is flying, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Make sure you put him in soccer, bro. Make sure you put him in. Make sure you put him early before basketball and football and all that stuff, man. Make sure. You know what I'm saying?
Or baseball, something like that.
Yeah, man. Because it's something about the kids learning how to play soccer first, and then getting into the other sports like football, basketball, baseball, whatever. When they do soccer first, they are used to getting agile and dexterous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Coordination.
Do you think that's what it is?
I mean, the way I learned about soccer was that you got to be able to dance to play soccer.
Really?
So.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about heading your way tomorrow. To be honest with you, there's this restaurant I like over there called Mio's, and I know I keep telling you about it. You like Mio's is trash, but I like it though, bro. So I'm thinking about heading that way tomorrow. I'll talk to the missus about it in a few minutes.
All right.
And see, and then that way if you're not busy counting money or
man, I work tomorrow, but you gotta
I was going to all saving the world. I was just about to say that, all saving the world.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can, you know what I'm saying, meet up or whatever. But yeah, man. So I didn't want to interrupt your point. I just wanted to get it in before I forgot.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. I love it. The last one, and I'll get off after this because I want to hear y'all take. I really want a GI and also Free Keat take on some of these questions. So I'll just entrust it to you to ask them at some point. But so I heard Guillermo and a lot of people from Nothing But Knicks talk about Mitch gaining weight. And everyone's got this weird thing about he gained weight too fast, and like they have this like he put on muscle before he put on too much muscle, and it's this, that, and the third, and he didn't put on muscle in his legs. And to be honest, that's not the way you're supposed to think about rehab for anyone, period. The best way to think about it, number one, he has to work with the trainers closely. Like he has to be lock in step, which is what he said in the presser. Like he's working with them, right? The next big thing is you have to flip the mindset of, okay, Mitch put on weight too soon, rather than he's moving through the types of practice too soon. So let's say it took Kevin Durant like a year, first of all, to start running again.
Right.
Mitch is under a year so far. So really we should be looking at Mitch coming back around the same time he got injured.
Right.
Or at least being fully healthy around that time.
Right.
The next thing you got to think about is you want him to start walking before he starts jogging. You want him to start jogging before he starts running. The weight is not the problem. The human body, as long as you have the right diet, your bone density will expand and you will be able to support your weight. The problem is that most people who get leg injuries, they compensate by leaning to the healthy leg more.
Right.
So he has to build up the muscle in the healthy leg. I mean, the weak leg.
Right.
As soon as he could start to jog.
Right.
So his strength training in the lower extremity starts first and foremost with working out by jogging, in other words. And as he could start to run and take more more pressure, more pounding, etc., etc. Then you're looking at, okay, increasing his weight, increasing his calcium dose, increasing his protein intake, so that he could also put more weight and run properly on that leg.
Right.
Then you're going to ask him to jump in full contact practice.
Yep.
But it's step by step and it's periodic.
Yep.
So when I heard the Knicks said, first and foremost, we want Mitch to come along slowly. I don't want Mitch to start. Mitch is not going to play from the beginning. I was like, ding, ding, ding. That's great.
Right.
That means he's probably going to be ready by All-Star break.
Yep.
Most Knicks fans are like, he gained too much weight, and they think that's the problem. That's not the problem. You got to flip it.
Yep. Yep.
So, I think that's something that everyone has to like redo in their mind. I don't understand where it comes from that if you put on weight, it hurts the lower extremity. It's really the way you put impact on that leg. The human body will adjust on its own. The weight is not a problem. Then also too, you gotta add in that it's a Jones fracture, so it's not going to be as vasculated. That's why you want him to take a year or more.
Right.
So it's going to take time. It's really time, not weight. It's time, and management, not anything else.
Okay.
Forget the weight. The weight has nothing to do with it.
Right. Right. I'm glad you said that, man. I'm glad you said that because, okay, so I'll say this, and y'all are gonna laugh, and I'm gonna probably laugh with y'all. So I'm not a professional athlete, but I've done athletic things professionally. Right?
Man, you box, man. Come on, you boxed before.
Yeah, not at a high level. But I consider getting your boxing license in multiple states and all that stuff, and prize fighting professional.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It wasn't nothing major. It's like, what I'm saying, you get your 250 here, your 300 there, whatever. But the thing I learned in doing stuff as a professional is that weight doesn't equate to strength.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So
Agreed.
And so the thing about Mitchell Robinson is he said something in his press conference, and you could hear the frustration in his voice. He mentioned that he got stronger because he got tired of being pushed around like he did last year and definitely the year before.
Yeah,
like when he mentioned the year before, you could look at the frustration, like you can see the frustration of him trying his hardest, and he was being pushed around by individuals that were stronger than him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the weight gain is not a weight gain off of just, hey, I couldn't rehab a certain way, so I gained weight. Mitch referenced the weight room, right?
Yeah.
Getting physically stronger and getting his body, doing a full body workout to get his body in as much as he could. Of course, we know he's injured, right? So he won't be able to do certain things. But what that does, though, is it tells you that when he's able to work out the way that he wants to, then you'll see the real transformation into an NBA body by Mitchell Robinson. And Tom Thibodeau liked what he saw out of Mitchell Robinson.
The big thing is that Mitch is good. Like the other thing is, like, once he starts getting into contact and stuff like that, he's gonna lose the weight.
Yeah.
No NBA player starts off with the weight and also keeps it on at the same time.
Right.
You can't. You're gonna run too much.
Right.
People think soccer you run more, but in the NBA you run way more.
Right.
You do a mile way faster because it's just up and down.
Yeah, in soccer, when the ball's not in your area, what are you doing, bro?
because you're just in zones. That's the thing people don't think about with soccer. It's just zones.
Right.
Andrew, I'm not with ortho, but I've done many ortho rotations in school. I work in an ER, and I am around a lot of ortho guys because people get their bones broken a lot in the ER.
Yeah. They get broken bones will send you to the ER.
Exactly. So, and then the last
a
part,
headache, maybe not so much.
But a broken bone, yes, sir.
well, you break a bone in your head, it'll cause it'll cause something.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, you brought up something when you talked about with Mitch, and because you got a lot of people in general, and many people compensate for the good limb, compensate on the good limb versus the affected limb, and a lot of them don't realize that you get atrophy, and with him being off, and if you don't know what atrophy is, just basically the muscles getting weak and smaller. So you walk around with have that one big leg versus little leg or arm or what have you. With that being said, he's like I said, he's with his trainer, so the weight is good. This is that you take into account we're looking at what ended Yao Ming's career short because of that the what he had the same type of injury.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people worry about, because we revert back to Yao Ming. However, let's fast forward and look at the time frame, the years in between. Medicine has changed. Treatment and things have changed, gotten better and improved.
Yeah.
And
in 10 years, yeah.
I don't even want to like whole scientific spiel and make this a lecture, but you could legit just reroute arteries and get more blood to that area. And that's what Kobe did, like blood spinning. Just get the blood in there, allow the oxygen and the blood and the stem cells to naturally fill that spot, and it starts healing on its own.
Right.
And it'll heal faster. So like there's ways to heal it if you want to do it faster, but I think by working with the training staff, first and foremost, he'll be fine as long as he has the right diet, which he mentioned that he changed his diet. The second part is that because he hurt his leg and also can't bear weight on it, doesn't mean he can't lift with that leg. There's other things he could do. Like he could do leg curls. He could do he can't do like toe raises and stuff like that, but he could do leg press in a boot. Right. So the way to do it, I could explain it, but it's not necessary for this. So there's ways for him to work out. And I'm pretty sure he's been doing lower body workouts, but also too, he could do body weight workouts. As his upper body expands and gets stronger, he could do simple thing. And most guys don't like this, but Pilates, you have those type exercises, yoga, all that stuff. You start talking about those Tai Chi, those non-weights, body weight exercises. He could do those and be just fine and still be able to compete with anyone else.
Right. Yeah. Well, bro, I got to get out of here and get some lunch and lay it down. I worked last night. Did you work last night?
No, man, no.
Okay. So you got to work this weekend.
Yeah, I got to work this weekend.
Oh, geez, man. I was hoping I can get you Saturday night, but yeah, man. Well, I gotta get out of here, man. To me and Miss Mocha gonna get something to eat for lunch, and do the bro. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if you exercise or eat right or whatever. You might be a junk food guy. I don't know. I'm just gonna say, bro, eating right and exercise is the hardest thing you have ever, bro.
Yeah, it's more mental than anything.
Yeah.
It's easy. The junk food is very accessible, and it's always. I mean, look at it. You can go to a corner store and find all the junk food, but look, where's all the
for $4?
Yeah.
And then eat healthy, it's like $22.
Yeah.
22. Yeah. It's hard. The diet part. So I intermittent fast, just to let you know. I do work out. But the combination of the two, like, do I rest and recover and all that stuff? No, I don't do enough of the good stuff. I still eat bad. So, Yeah, I try to make up for it, but I know I don't eat well.
Right. No, I'm with you, bro. I'm trying. So
It's hard.
I'm down a few pounds, bro. But simple stuff like you know how you get on the scale and the scale is like, yo, you up 4 pounds and you did everything right,
Mm.
and then you take out to then I am I retaining water or something? What's going on? So anyway, I just thought I'd just say that I'm gonna get out of here. Enjoy
All right.
this Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm gonna jump
Thanks for
on.
the invite, man.
And ain't no worries. And I'm gonna jump back on probably later today. I don't know what time, but I'm gonna take me a strong power nap
Mm.
and then get up and get back on and then do the Knicks Tonight podcast.
That's what's
And
up.
then and so everybody, thank y'all for coming through. I will holler at y'all later. Soulfinger, thank you again, bro.
Thanks again, Soulfinger, man.
Appreciate it. Reach out,
Yeah,
fellas.
man.
Have a good
Nice
week.
talking to you.
Good to see y'all, man. Yeah, man. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right.
All right, peace.
Hit that